Futures back to the upside here this morning as we get going on what could be another interesting day for the overall market here, with another day set for Fed Chair Powell in Washington once again, coming off what happened yesterday. We did get some interesting comments alluding to, I mean, he didn't really say it's going to be July, but he did leave the door open to the fact that there could be maybe some sort of movement from the Fed as early as July. Futures back to the upside in a decent way right now, about 0.4% for the market right across the board, as all things in the Middle East seem to be relatively calm at this point and holding that way for the time being as well. There you go. Coming up at 10 o'clock this morning, another day of testimony for Fed Chair Powell. If you look in the past when this has happened, day two typically is nowhere near as exciting as day one. We typically hear basically more of the same or the exact same thing over again day two. So we'll stay tuned for that. We'll have that coming up. As far as individual movers, ton of them to talk about this morning. FedEx downside, not good report. We'll touch on that. 5% right now. Palantir moving around here this morning. Just took out 144. I was wondering if it did take out 144, back to essentially highs right now for Palantir. What a couple of days it's been for that name. We have AI to talk about this morning. Rahim Alani is going to come by, talk about some oil names as well, with all things that have been happening in the Middle East.
Perfect time, actually, especially with the oil taking a bit of a dive yesterday and recovering this morning a little bit. Yeah, Fed Chair Powell in the Senate today. He was in the House yesterday. I can't wait to see the exchange between him and Elizabeth Warren. Always makes for good television. Lots to talk about today. Tesla's European sales, Brendo, continue to take a hit. 5 straight months of negative sales. We'll get to that on the rundown. Circle also in focus after a big down move yesterday. Nvidia getting the nod today from Wedbush. And oh yeah, Bitcoin 107,000 and climbing, Brendo.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that Tesla sales were down. It was another month of huge, declines as far as Europe is concerned. So not good. Yeah, Bitcoin looking good. IBIT on watch here possibly today, guys. Lots to consider. Good morning.
Hey, Neil.
Look at that. Look at that look.
Okay. Well, it's an all-time high party, so we got to get the tight shot.
Hopefully my mic's working. It's not muted, guys. But can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, good. No, it's an all-time high party. I think there's a host of names that are going to knock on wood, break all-time highs. Robinhood is pennies away from it. Palantir, pennies away from all-time highs. Nasdaq broke all-time highs yesterday, so it's a fun one. Obviously, we all like a bull market in here. The thing, I don't know if I got mentioned up there at the desk, but you also had NATO committing, quote unquote, to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP, which is interesting because the last time they set a bunch of targets, pretty much nobody actually hit them, but still should be a boon for defense-related stocks. That's why we have Palantir up here. Nvidia, very close to its all-time high, maybe not as close as some of the others. AMD already broke $140. It's just, the bulls are out in full force here today. So I think you look for the continuation. I love what's going on in crypto. I'll be on Robinhood and IBIT today. Well, back to IBIT, but also look on Robinhood. And don't sleep on the chip names, because the entire sector looking really strong. And we get one of the strong ones tonight with Micron reporting. So yeah, a lot to look forward to for sure in what should be an exciting day. Maybe not for Powell. I'm sure he'll be bored out of his mind. Can't be that fun being in front of Congress, Senate, whichever one he's in front of. I don't know.
Yeah, we had, is that the right? That must be right. Heyo. Back to the future. We had a power outage around here. So, our cameras have to get recalibrated. We have Randy running around in the back over here. Rob running around. Should be an interesting one. Tesla 0.92. Yeah, we're going to be looking at that. And look at this. Will you take a look at that? Right now, 150. We'll see what is sitting at 150 right now. We're going to wait to find out when we get up there for NVDA. So we really interested in that price level right there. We're also interested to have Rahim Alani back in the building right now as well. What are we talking about today, Rahim? Energy, all right, with down over 12% the last 2 days. We'll be talking about energy and which names we're interested in here today. But yeah, okay, ready to rock and roll. Again, remember, we do have some of the features may or may not be working here today, as we did have that power issue. So we're going to be diving into a few things. Thanks, Andre, for all your patience in all of this as well. And then, of course, whoops, that's the wrong one. BBAI Plus. Yeah, it's not $1. Yeah, BBAI. This is what we're looking for right here. 550. Oh boy. Here we go again for Big Bear AI. Now in the money nicely on this name and continuing higher into today for Big Bear AI as we see a 550 print coming on this name. And we talked about where our outs may be in and around $6. So we're getting pretty close to that rate now. And then we wait to see if we can get some extension on Big Bear AI. So that name working out. And then an earnings play that's not so hot, and we'll be talking about this throughout the morning as well. FedEx down nicely today, 6%, so 5%. So we'll wait, 6% at the lows, 5% right now for FedEx, and UPS catching some shrapnel as well on that play. At least it was last night. Yeah, still only down 1%. So UPS and FedEx, shippers downside for now. But all right, let's go back over to the desk and we'll see if we can get some cameras figured out a little bit more.
A little bit yesterday with this OpenAI story. Microsoft to the upside here this morning took out that high, pre-market high from yesterday, that is, that we put in midday. So basically back to all-time highs. The OpenAI angle still kind of floating in the background here. Sam Altman kind of doubling down on, what we discussed yesterday. And yes, they're the majority shareholder, or I mean it's 49%, but the biggest shareholder outside of OpenAI itself. Question marks remain here. I think they're pointing in the direction of kind of going off on their own, which I think a lot of people were expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, it really came down to compute. Microsoft was giving them a lot of access to Azure, kind of help them off the ground, but really it's become an independent company now, and there's some contention between them because with OpenAI trying to become basically a for-profit company, Microsoft wants to know what's going to happen to its equity stake, and there's a lot of aggressive negotiation going on behind the scenes from what I've read on these negotiations, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Microsoft, basically, OpenAI possibly floating the idea that Microsoft is engaging in anti-competitive behavior. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm just going to cover Microsoft from Wedbush quickly here, Brendo, because Microsoft got the nod today from Wedbush with reiterating the outperform rating, bumping the price target, though, Brendo, from 515 up to 600, basically saying that there's a massive adoption wave of Microsoft Copilot, probably Joe using it, and Azure AI services, as well as customer check shows accelerating deal conversions, especially at the enterprise level. High margin B2B.
Yeah, I saw an interesting chart last night of AI spend, and it was Microsoft first, Amazon second, and it was Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple were the three that were being compared. Microsoft was first by far, and Amazon second, and then Apple was heading in the exact opposite direction.
Ahead of
like
Apple,
it was just
sure.
off the charts to the downside. So it explains a lot here. Palantir, guys, just took out the highs once again, still going. 460% rally. A lot of people eyeing the Russell 1000 for this one coming up on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, we got Raheem in here behind us, locked and loaded and almost ready to go here. I can't believe it. I know we're going to talk a little bit about Palantir, and the president actually truthing that he stands with. No, it's nothing big. I stand with Article 5. So that's just backing. It's more on NATO there. Obviously, that's what they're talking about, and that's what they're doing. Defense spending a big deal, but I forgot about Microsoft in that all-time high party. So we acknowledge Microsoft, one of the most. This could be the most boring, awesome, uptrending stock in the market right now is Microsoft, and it's funny because it all started at 420. And it hasn't, there's been maybe 1 or 2 days, 3 tops that have been big on softy, and the rest of it's just been a little bit of a glide. Now, on the other end of the coin, You have Palantir, which is an upward trend, but it's going to give you so many more outsized days. So, you know, like Microsoft is probably something that you hold, and it's great that it's gotten all-time highs in your portfolio. Not many people are, I don't think, are actively trading it. That would just be a little bit of a guess. But yeah, and like at Palantir 145, it's on the 15-minute. It kind of stands. I mean, it kind of stands out pretty obviously for a little bit of an all-time high breakout. The other way to play this, I like false break dip buys. So I always look into the prior high as the first stop. That would be deep. You're talking it would have to drop a full percent on a fail break of 145 into 143.5, the prior resistance levels, both the day that it got made and yesterday, lining up at the same area. So if Palantir ends up failing 145, I know exactly where I want to play the dip buy. And it's a defense-related name, so they're going to get some of that money, provided that it actually gets spent. I mean, it will get spent just to the extent that this decree has stated. I'm a little skeptical. Like, I just don't see all of NATO going to 5%. If you look at a list of it, it's like almost all of them are nowhere close. So you'll get bumps, which is great for stocks like this, but I don't think you're going to see anything quite as extreme as that 5%, especially in that short term. Ooh, Zapster with the super chat here. What do you guys think about BlackBerry? You know what? Not a heck of a lot. I was kind of hoping that there'd be a little bit more action and volume when I saw that it was gapped up this morning. And a lot of times, you know, it's like one of those old meme stocks that every now and then you get some volume in it, it gets going. And I saw that it was gapped through resistance, but it's barely even doing anything pre-market. Like, you pull it up and you're not really seeing a lot of printing going on here. So, you know, when I see that, yeah, sure, great. Gap through resistance, holding that higher low, 460 would be the level. But yeah, not a lot of activity there. There's too many names that are doing volume, I think, to pull for BlackBerry to pull me in. Yeah, it's just not that stock anymore. You know, back when the meme stocks were going crazy during 2020 COVID times, like, this was a good one to be trading. I just don't see it as that anymore. Maybe you got a little short-term rally after earnings here, but not much of a day trade for me.
Check out Webull here again today. Up another 6%. So Webull right here, the highest I've ever seen this stock since we've been in it. We're in at 11 flat. So Webull right here at up 5-6%. That's another nice move, man. As Robinhood, Webull, SoFi, all these sort of fintech names also. Wow, Robinhood, $85 gets going. Like this, up another 5% for Robinhood. SoFi also another play today. 16. Like, this is great. Like, we're getting a lot of movement. Like, Bull is up 6, SoFi is up 1. SoFi could go up more than this. So, you know, we're really excited about everything that we're looking at right there. Reddit, also another name. I see someone in the chat put that. That's also on our watch list right now as well. As we talked about this a couple weeks ago, being down into here and liking Reddit, and it's been just bumping up ever since. Roblox is like, this is the best part about bull markets, is everything wants to go. So yeah, up and away in this current market. Great day to be long everything. I don't know if EY, I mean, great. I don't know if great day. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But so far, so good there. PayPal, XYZ, some of the older fintech names. It's amazing to say how old they are. Probably a couple decades at this point, but still trying to go back up to the upside as well. So yeah, good to go here so far today. It's going to be a good one. We have Rahim Alani coming at you right now to talk all about energy.
Rahim is here. We're going to touch on oil names this morning and some opportunities where we can maybe look at taking advantage of what has happened over the past couple of days. If you missed it, let's start with this. This is crude oil. Going back to Sunday night, if you remember, we came in on a huge gap up on these Middle East fears. At that point, really, the market didn't really know what was going to be the end result. We come in Monday morning, this thing's at $78 and gets absolutely crushed, down massively, you know, better part of 12 bucks at this point on crude oil futures. So if you came in on a Monday morning, looked at oil futures and told me, you know, Iran and Israel were involved in some sort of conflict and the U.S. just got involved.
Yep.
Down $12 in the next 48 hours was probably not the outcome I would have picked anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those weird sliding door things, right? Like, it's supposed to be this, then all of a sudden it goes this way. So that's definitely what happened. And it's not in the playbook, right? Like, I think everything like we even talk about, like every morning we walk in and it's just something that we didn't expect. And macroeconomics and economic theory tells you that the price of oil should go one way based on global conflict. And then we're just gonna go the other way.
Straight downside. Yeah, it's a strange one. I mean, we've been doing this quite a long time at this point. I've never seen anything like that. Just an instant reversal on some sort of headline that, as you were saying, would potentially take the other way.
And the president did tweet, "Don't fall for this."
Yeah,
don't fall for what Iran wants, and let's go the other way. So I guess that's where we are.
Two times in a row here, Trump has made accurate price predictions on Truth Social.
It's weird.
When we kind of pull out here and then look at Canada specifically and the energy sector here, how is this going to, if at all, how is this going to affect these companies?
Well, the price of oil and the price of gas obviously affect all companies, but Canada is another thing that's happened here with the Canadian companies is the fact that there are wildfires happening in Alberta,
right.
And that shut down a couple of companies, specifically around Christina Lake.
Right.
So a couple of companies did get shut down, operations there, people had to get sent back home, so production did drop that way. But as prices rebound to wherever they're supposed to go, that just improves everyone's balance sheet depending on their performances. And Canada, with our new Prime Minister Carney, there is talk and thought of we need to build energy independence because of these volatile swings that could happen in other parts of the world. We need better infrastructure, we need better pipelines and infrastructure so that we can deliver energy not just south of the border, but to other markets.
So if we look at individual companies, we'll pull up a number of charts here. I'll stick on a daily time frame for you, but you'll notice the trend here that a lot of these have had this same kind of move back in. With crude oil. That's Cenovus in Toronto here on the TSX. Dual listed, correct?
Yes.
So it does trade down in the US, but huge down day going back to Monday, or yesterday, I should say. And then we get the gap again back below 19 bucks here.
Yeah, back down to a low of 19 bucks, a 10% swing in the week. And again, on a mid to large cap name, you don't get such volatility. So it's really interesting to see that happens. It's 4 or 5 bucks off its 52-week low. It's 9 bucks away from its 52-week high. And you look at these charts, and it should tell you that that Cenovus should be back up at 19, 20, 21, 22 is probably where it should be, but it's trading down here at the $19 level. So there are a lot of those names that have had that happen, and they did have that effect with Christina Lake as well. So they might have seen a little bit more of a dip because of the wildfires that were taking place there, but they have announced that everyone's gone back to work.
This fire situation out west has, for whatever reason, become a yearly thing. I don't, 10, 15 years ago, I don't remember it being this prominent of a problem.
It almost feels like it's wildfire season now. Like in mining terms, there's seasons where you go work at a camp. And I feel like with wildfires now, the predominance or prevalence of them, it's kind of like we'll just take a break in June or maybe July, depending on wildfires, and then we'll, people can actually go on vacation, which is just weird.
MEG Energy, MEG, another one here again, same move here the past couple of days.
Yeah, and this is one that we have talked about on the program a few times before. They also had the Christina Lake effect, but going down as low as 17 up to 29. The reason this one's interesting is they had a takeout offer at, where was it? At about $23.27 from a company called Strathcona Resources. That was going to be 82% shares, 18% cash, values them at $6 billion. And clearly the market doesn't agree because it's gone up to $6.5 billion already. Waterous is a fund that's in behind Strathcona. So Waterous would end up with a 51% interest in the combined entity. So if you've already overpaid for something somewhere along the way, this is a way to kind of level out and get some liquidity. So that's kind of the prevailing thought in Alberta about what's happening with this name. And the board has already told all the shareholders to reject the takeout offer. So that, I don't know if it'll be a name that'll be in play particularly, or if they're just gonna, they have started a strategic process.
Yeah.
Just to examine everything that they have going on. But that's a name I would keep an eye on based on that fact.
At the end of the day, I mean, a lot of these have made just monstrous moves over the past couple of weeks to, month, 2 months. This, if anything, is an opportunity if you like any of these individual names. Kelt Exploration here, another one, lower priced. 750 back downside here the past couple of days, but I mean this thing's basically doubled here in the past couple of months.
Yeah, this chart, if you look at the last even couple 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's popped off already. It was trading in the 650 range. It's gotten up to 730. The 52-week high at 780. Yeah, it's just a steady Eddie name. 38% oil, 62% gas. I'm sure no one really cares about all the numbers, but the reason that I do mention that is if you just look at the price of oil and the price of gas over the 52-week period, they did have oil selling at $93 versus $90 year over year, but gas at 41 versus 52 year over year. So just take a look, just do your math on that kind of breakout. And they are intending to spend over $300 million this year.
Right. Another one, I don't think we've mentioned this one before.
No.
But Spartan Delta.
Yeah.
I like the name. SDE.
Yeah.
SDE touched $4 here on a bit of a pullback as well.
Yeah, so this is much, much, much smaller than all these other names that we've talked about. But trades between 240 and 430, trading at 375 currently. Again, a much smaller name. They drilled, I think, 30 wells in the quarter, 13 wells in the quarter. They brought 5 under production, about 38,000 barrels of oil of production. But again, interestingly, they just raised just about $98 million for their CapEx. And so that just shows you that there is investor appetite for some of these smaller names where there is going to be more barrels coming online.
We've seen that not only in the energy sector, but getting into some of the other mining or mining areas as well. Maybe next time we'll touch on some of those smaller names in the gold world, in the silver world as well, that have started to peak back up again. It's been a long time since the small caps have been.
Yeah, small caps are getting a little bit of that shine. There is a lot of M&A activity happening. We talk about that all the time. So always keep your ears peeled and noses out there for some of that M&A kind of fodder that's out there, because that's what sees those big pops in stocks.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's good to have it back and have some of the excitement around that sector once again. Rahim Alani's managing director at OCI Groups here in Toronto. Thank you.
You're welcome. And can I just give 2 quick shout outs?
Yeah, go.
Happy anniversary week to my wife. We're celebrating 5 years this week, so love her. And thanks for making me a better person. And shout out to my son. I know he's come on Trader TV a couple of times, but he made his modeling debut on Saturday.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. as everyone says, I know with technical difficulties we couldn't show it, but shout out to Toronto Kids Fashion Week. They had my son in the show, and it was adorable. And if we'll show a picture at some point later on,
Once
and it was.
We had a huge power outage here last night, guys. We were just joining. That's the reason for the weird look this morning. So once we get things back up and running, I'll throw it up for you.
But yeah, shout out to him, and I'm really proud of him for doing that. So
Good stuff.
Congratulations, Rahim. Congratulations to your family. That's fantastic news. Obviously, 5 years, a great deal. Maybe a bigger deal, though, the modeling contract. We got to get him on here again. Definitely good luck. Look, I think just to go back to, I know you're talking about energy there, the what's next for a lot of energy names seems interesting. The one thing I love when you were talking about Meg a little bit earlier is one of the names. I love when things turn resistance into support. It's like you don't even see it. You don't even know it. You never looked at the stock. It pulls back. It goes right into a prior resistance turning support. That can be bullish. But I saw someone in the chat saying Indo's going to recover, that energy is going to come back. I think there's going to be a moment, certainly, where you catch a bit of a bounce. Like these things have, like especially, like I'm looking at Indo specifically. I know we were short this one yesterday, and actually we were short it and the day before, but with all of, the tensions aren't necessarily gone. It was overblown, the move in oil, and trapped a lot of people. But I think if you get right back down to where we started, some of these energy names get interesting for a bounce. Like INDO down another 8% today. If it goes to $3, you're talking it being 10% down, SSR, at a prior resistance level, at the 200 period moving average, and essentially right where the whole thing started. You could argue maybe that's about 1080, but I think that provides you 280. 280 and $3 on Indo, that's a couple of levels to look for a bit of a bounce play and some kind of a relief rally, as clearly a name like this that goes parabolic in the space is going to fall farther and faster, but I don't think it's going to be complete disaster. There's going to be some bounces in oil. Indo at the 3, Indo at the 280. Those are two levels obvious to me to look to catch a little bit of a bid. I know we've only been short it the last couple of days. It's not even on my list to go short. It's kind of gone too far already. So I've gotten away from that. We'll probably look for some longs in the next coming days in some of the oil space.
Yeah, I was just looking at oil itself right here, up 1% today. So that's nice. We talked about it being at a buy zone yesterday. So oil, yesterday I believe was at that zone there, $64. coming into play there for oil. So we talked about that yesterday, coming into a nice little level there at the 50-period moving average. Whether or not there's more downside, I mean, I guess is going to be flipping a coin with, you know, what's been happening over there in the Middle East. Can we get that ceasefire? Will it last? So on and so forth. But right now, into the CL contract, this is the August contract, down to $65 and now up today 1%. Yeah, congratulations, Raheem. It's great to see more proud dads out here. And as Raheem always was mentioning there, I always share clips of my kids. And last night we went, again, we were talking about this last night, we went back over to the driving range. But we just did an indoor one there and we played right here yesterday. I was gonna, oops, that didn't work. That didn't work. I'm zoomed in way too much. Right there. But anyways, yeah, that was a fun day. Had to stay indoors last night, so that was really fun. Oh, we lost everything.
We're good.
We're good. Okay, we're good.
Are we?
We're good. There it is. But anyways, yeah, so shout out to all the proud dads out there sharing content every single day. And Raheem, I did see that. I think I liked it on your Instagram, and you might have saw that, but that was really cute. I saw him walking around there. He had like a little strut to him as well, so it was really awesome. Obviously taking after his mother, I would think, in that one. But okay, well, there's Brendan. So hey, Brendan, how's it going, my guy? I'm gonna go get a coffee. Let's throw it back over to the desk.
Or not? Did junior change on Sunday? Nice. Who? Do you run the bases?
Yeah. Andre?
Oh boy.
Andre, hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
There we go.
Let's come back over here. I don't know if anyone can hear us. We'll just keep talking here. Palantir's at highs, up 1% here. QuantumScape is kind of interesting this morning as well. Did you see a headline on this? Because I mean,
I dare put it on the watch list. Yeah.
this has to be earnings.
Yeah.
Monstrously, this is one of those little tiny stocks that this is one of those tiny stocks that, you know, once there's a catalyst behind it, it has that AI thing in its name. So maybe one to watch through $6 here, 42%. You going to be on this?
We'll see, Brendo. Yeah, I mean, this one reminds me of the pandemic all over again. This was running when the EV kind of situation was at full force during the pandemic. QS is the ticker, guys, gapping up as they're launching production of a new Cobra separator technology, which replaces the old process. It speeds up the heat treatment and reduces equipment size. QuantumScape, in case you guys are wondering, basically it is an EV charging company, much like ChargePoint, Tesla supercharging station. So QS certainly in focus. Brendo, up nicely here, 34%. Not a bad look at all.
Yeah, QuantumScape, one of those names that if you zoom out far enough back to the pandemic, even the end of the pandemic, had a monster run. Was
thinking of the wrong company. I was thinking of Blink Charging. QuantumScape is the ceramic battery technology.
Exactly.
Sorry,
solid state. When all of this started, this was the one that everyone was kind of, you know, anointing the winner, you know, before it even got started. I'll have to zoom out and see the highs here, guys. But QS, thoughts today?
Totally.
Raheem here. There's a lot of small cappers that are running heavily. QuantumScape, in terms of volume, looks like it's one of the best. Now, we've seen this sucker do this before, okay? So you know when there's an obvious, ridiculous bag hold level like $7 that's trapped a couple. I mean, you could argue that 3 times in the last year it's trapped you. Literally a year ago. Almost a year ago. In July, we had $7, $7. So there's still some room for it to get there. It's a gap and go style play. Whenever I look at those, if you don't have prior highs to work off of, it's only ever VWAP or the pre-market low. As I said, there's just so much to look at. You've already made an all-time high, and Robinhood already broke all-time highs, and Palantir is about to do so as well. So it's a little bit difficult to want to focus on a small capper, especially, you know, like I even have SoFi's on my mind a little bit here today. But QS, it's a strong one. I love the volume. I like the fact that it's holding trend. I like the fact that it's holding VWAP. I know it's something that Sharif would be interested in. It's got everything going for it. It's not going to make my list of names to trend. I do want to get to, there's a bunch of names in the chat that people have been asking about here. And Daniel just said, just put an interesting one out there. Why is Apple stuck? I saw someone else saying, what is going on with Apple? Sometimes, we were noting this yesterday, it doesn't necessarily have to have a catalyst to be relatively weak. It's just simple at this point. The market is telling you that they like, in the Mag 7 anyways, Mag 7 are not moving together. They haven't been for a while. You've got Meta and Microsoft in one world. You've got an NVIDIA. You've got Amazon doing its own thing, maybe not at the highs. You've got Apple languishing a little bit. And unfortunately, we saw at the close, Apple was just getting sold off when everything was at the highs, and it was pretty distinct. So to me, unless it can get back above 202, I'd lean bearish on the stock. If it reclaims that 202 level, then maybe on the day trade you look for some longs, but I'm relatively bearish on Apple until it starts breaking out above the 50 period. You got 205 that's going to be the next resistance spot. If it closes above 205, I think that's going to be the first sign that we've broken out of this doldrum that Apple seems to be in. So yeah, like QS looks like a really good stock, but just to answer some questions about Apple, whether it's China concerns, whether it's people think that they haven't done well enough with AI, integrating AI into the phones, whatever you think it is, it doesn't matter. The price action is telling you the other Mag 7 names are preferred, and until it starts making some higher lows and breaking back out, I think 205 is going to be a key close price on the daily. Then I'm not touching this one. I stay relatively bearish on it. Yeah,
Getting fixed. All right. Shout out to Ramin. All right. Yeah, I mean, Apple has to be the one that we're looking at for a little bit of bearish action. But I mean, also Google didn't have the greatest ride either. But it's up to 170 again very, very soon here, up 1% again. Look at Google yesterday. Really funny the way that traded. So just kept on stair-stepping up until eventually it lost a little bit, and then held VWAP and then broke it. Like, it was a really kind of a strange day there, the way this looked here for Google. We don't normally see it like that. So interested to see what it's doing today above that high one more time. The Nasdaq's not stopping here, by the way. Neither is ES. So we have bank stocks. We talked about the fintech names, Robinhood hitting new highs again, 85.50. Webull over that 11.50 mark that we were hoping for, 11.83. There's lots of stuff going on right now, including Tesla. But let's go back over to the desk right now. It's 9:03. We'll start this watch list party.
We'll get into the watch list here, guys. Just bear with us. We're still sorting out some switching issues, guys. So, yeah, we'll talk about the watch list here. We'll talk about the futures. I mean, trying to get back to the upside for the overall market. Once again, remember, the most important thing to keep note of today is going to be 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we get Fed Chair Powell back in Washington for day number 2, as I mentioned earlier. Day number 2 of this event. This is a yearly thing. Typically is just a do-over of day 1. Day 1, he's at one of them, the House. Day 2, he's at the Senate. So it's just a repeat of what happened yesterday. So there shouldn't be too many surprises as far as the overall market is concerned. We'll continue, just going through what we need to talk about here this morning. Overall, all you need to know about the market right now in the futures is that we're at day highs. So, we can just get into what is moving around here maybe, and that'll be the easiest thing. Tesla, big down day yesterday. We ended the session basically at the lows, coming on the back of the robo-taxi launch. If you remember, over the weekend, we did get reports late yesterday that some of the bugs might need a little bit of fixing before we get round number 2 going here. They are still running. I mean, I was seeing more and more videos even late last night on social media of people still getting these rides, and it continues to be like, it seems anyways, it continues to be a selected bunch of influencers, Tesla, quote-unquote Tesla influencers that are getting first dibs. Yeah, Brendo, and it's working through the Tesla app. Obviously, there's been some glitches, seen the videos make the rounds on X as well as other social media sites, but I can send you an equal amount of videos of Waymo cars doing crazy things as well. So these are the growing pains, and we're gonna watch it in real time. Tesla has a bit of a negative catalyst today. It's more about European sales, Brendo, dropping in May 2025, about 20
8% year over year, about selling a little less than 14,000 cars. Their market share, Brendo, in Europe continues to shrink. May 2024 it was 1.8%. Now, the numbers that we have are for May 2025, down to 1.2. All the while, Chinese EV makers continue to boost. They have now 5.9% of the European market share, despite the fact that Europe is putting basically tariffs to slow these Chinese imports. It doesn't matter. BYD now surpassing Tesla in pure EV sales in Europe for the first time ever. The Model Y, though, is kind of the silver lining here with the new refresh, looking at possibly kind of boosting sales. We're already seeing that pickup in Norway. Will it affect other European countries like France and England? We'll have to wait.
And one of the interesting data points I was reading late last night and then again this morning was the simple fact that the switchover seems to be happening. A lot of returns are happening, or lease ends are happening as well for Teslas, people jumping over to BYD or some sort of Asian-made model instead. So, I mean, 350, 340, kind of an interesting area here, guys, on the chart for Tesla.
So I was trying to keep Tesla on the screen there as we are having some camera issues. So people in the chat are like, it's like a podcast. So yeah, it is kind of like a podcast right here. But yeah, look, I mean, I'm surprised Tesla's up today, you know, with those numbers coming through there and the negative talk about Europe. So not great there, right? But BYD cutting vehicle production is decent, so that's good. But that's not great for overall demand of the EV market. But yeah, yesterday we had a little bit of a whoopsie on Tesla there off of that 360 level. I thought that was a little bit overdone there, really on not much news at all. But I think we're going to have to wait now to see what happens right into this area, 340. I don't think there's anything else. It's not on my sticky note here today at all, but I do think that we're looking at a 340 level. Yeah, we did dump out there after market. We were watching that on the after show and was like, oh my God, it's getting worse and worse here. But that stopped for some reason at 338 or so, actually at least at 430 when I stopped the chart. But, you know, I just want to see that hold. So you're going to get a chance right off the jump there to see about a Tesla 340 bid. And if that holds, then I think you go for it and you give it a couple bucks to the downside. Because if we can hold there, then the next level everyone would be looking at would be taking out this 345, and then it's gone, right? And if the Nasdaq wants to keep doing what it's doing, Tesla, I think, will join the party at some point. It's already up. It's beating the Nasdaq now, but just like this kind of a move up is what I'm expecting here for Tesla, especially if we get that 340 bounce. So I'm excited about it. Let's just wait to see what happens. Not overly as much as we were the first day on Monday when we had the robo-taxi news. But again, you know, bad numbers today out of Europe could bring this name lower. Surprised it's not. So maybe there's buyers here that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, that 338 also the overnight support. Like it bounced off that 338 level really, really well. So I think that's the first place to look. But the only other place I'm looking, I guess we're not going to have my chart. On the 15-minute chart, if you zoom out on Tesla, you'll find the prior high 333. So if we lose 338, that's the spot that I'm looking for the dip buy at 333. I know it's far away, but I feel like after what happened yesterday, if it doesn't pull into those levels, then the only way I'm playing it is if it starts breaking out. Like if it breaks out over 45, maybe it was like a 50 break. Join the party if we end up breaking out. But I'd rather wait for the 333. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's as strong as the rest of the market. I know it's up 0.3.
But right here, we're talking about Circle, just in case we do get up at some point right now. We talked about this yesterday, this 215 area. Looks like it's going to try to be a holding spot there. Circle, we called this a huge short squeeze as this was happening. It was pretty obvious. Missed the opportunity up here at 300 now. And okay, they can hear, it looks like. Yeah, so that's good. That was a missed opportunity, but right into here, look at this momentum to the downside here for Circle. So for me, it's still a break short. This has been well documented. It's a USD stable coin. We've already got that news. There was the Genius Act. There it goes all the way to the upside, and down goes the stream possibly as well. Okay, good. We're still live. Okay, good. All right. So I like Circle. I'm not actually sure here I don't know if you guys can even see this, but I did want to just have a quick little update to see if there is a relatively new update on the short float. There is not, because it's a new name. Normally these short floats will take a couple weeks. It sounds like there's a Boeing jet taking off over there, so hopefully that is a good sign. And we're back. And there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay,
yes.
We're getting back up right now. So it's Sharif, it's Brendan for right now. I'm not sure if the mics are going to be going on here or not, but okay, good. Yeah. So any ideas for you with Circle, Neil?
Look, I think what's happened is the party that was Circle it's just shifted gears. All the excitement that went out of Circle in the last couple of days has gone into Coinbase. It's gone into Robinhood. It's gone into the rest of Fintech. I mean, even SoFi had a big day. I'm not looking at Circle long. I suppose if it does a big enough dip, maybe you look for something at $200 to $210 for a dip buy. But I was actually even just talking to Rankles, one of the managers back there. He's like, well, look what happened after Circle made a high. Circle made the high 2 days ago at $300 and fell back. Coinbase has gone parabolic in the last 2 days. So the party's with Coin. The party's with Robinhood the last couple of sessions. Get rid of those trend lines. Robinhood it's at all-time highs as we speak. So, like we said, you've got to be looking at the right names. I'm going to be looking at Robinhood today. Maybe should have been Coinbase. And even I say it jokingly, even SoFi has gotten off of the schneid a little bit. And I know we're waiting for this to break out in the afternoon for a trade. It just doesn't stand out as much as a Hood does or a Coinbase does. I might have considered trading SoFi here today. I think it's a good continuation. But Circle, yeah, I don't think I want to touch that one. Maybe you get some kind of a capitulation bottom and an obvious setup, but I'll be looking over at Coin and Hood. That's where the party is. When it comes to fintech, and even Bitcoin directly. Like I'll probably buy if there's a big dip, I'll be buying IBIT back into the gap at 60.40 if there's a big dip. I'm not really anticipating one, but that's another one I'll do a deep dip buy on. I might even have to join a breakout on this.
From that initial pullback.
Yeah, and Loop reiterating their buy rating today, Brendo, on NVIDIA, boosting the price target to $175. Basically saying that they're doing everything right, even with that H20 debacle where they have to take basically a $3.2 billion charge or loss of revenue. It would have been far better for them, apparently, if that had gone through. Baird also reaffirming outperform, setting $195 price target. Rosenblatt as well, lifting their price target, Brando, to $200. Bank of America, 180. Needham, 160. That's a good news. But NVIDIA remains under scrutiny because they want to build a Shanghai facility, which is raising national security concerns. So we'll have to see how they navigate that with the current administration.
Yeah, AMD, another one we've been touching on the past couple of days here, back to, again, session highs once again, guys. Semis continue to lead.
Pick your fighter, right? Like you like Ken, Ryu, or you like Mortal Kombat. Is it Sub-Zero? I love Sub-Zero. Let's just leave it at Sub-Zero. I'll say Sub-Zero Scorpion, but it's just Sub-Zero. So like whether you like AMD or NVIDIA today, I think there's room for both. AMD's already broken 140, which sets it out a little bit different. Like the even dollar is already gone. In my note, I basically had whichever one gives you the setup that I wanted, which pullback in a prior high is going to be a bit of a setup that I always like. Yesterday, that's what it did. It pulled back, AMD pulled back in a prior high for the first initial long. That was the best long I had in AMD was that. So I think if it gets down there, great, of course, I'm going to want it. But NVIDIA, on the other hand, it's got 150 set as a breakout. Like, yeah, maybe it dips all the way down and it goes into its prior high. But I feel like this is going to be a breakout before any of that happens. Don't forget, after the bell, we're going to have Micron. That's a big one on earnings. But at this point, if we get the similar dip on AMD, great. Like, I will go for it. It's just not seeming as likely. But there's still 15 minutes until the open. Like, imbalances come out, you get that dip buy anyways. We weren't thinking we'd get the dip right away, and it ended up happening this time yesterday. So just be prepared for it, because grip it and rip it. Like, these have been running. The chip space is super strong. I know some people are looking at SMCI. You just got to pick your fighter.
Yeah, like I said, I've been picking AMD all week, but today we pick NVIDIA. So Pikachu, I choose you. 148 to 149. I'm already sitting there getting ready to load up. If this thing breaks 150, I'm going long on this as well. NVIDIA, BBAI, Palantir, Webull. I mean, these are all the best traded names in the market. Thank you so much, Randy, for that plum. The plums have not, I love a coffee. The plums have not been the greatest, though, lately. But yeah, if this breaks 150, we're going long. So I'm already going long on that one. I was calling this all-time highs. You know, I said by Friday. It's Wednesday now. We might even get to it today, right? The all-time high in NVIDIA we're looking at is 153.13. So, I don't think it's going to stop or worry about that level at all. So here it goes, man. As soon as these imbalances come out, NVIDIA is a monster trade to the long side. Oh boy, look at Big Bear AI already with a 2 million share bid on it. Oh, that's right, our stream deck. Oh, there it is. God. Working a little late, but there goes Big Bear AI. Oh my God, is right. Another one up 27% yesterday, up more here today as we continue to go higher and higher and higher. So probably no one will be trading Circle. A lot of you will be trading Big Bear AI, but let's go talk about Circle. Then we'll switch it back and I'll do a little bit of Big Bear AI after this. But there it goes, man. Up 8% right now. Did 300 million shares yesterday. It's Big Bear AI here. But I don't know if we've already
I think we did Circle already.
We did Circle. Okay, so then we have FedEx. FedEx up next. So Big Bear AI and then FedEx and then crypto and then back to Big Bear AI and then more Big Bear AI. So shout out to everybody trading Big Bear AI.
Quickly on FedEx here, we just broke through 220 back to the upside, still a better part of 4% on basically the guidance, weaker than expected guidance. They did warn on quote-unquote uncertainty, once again, as we've heard from many companies this quarter.
Yeah, and they declined to give a full year 2026 Brendo guidance as a result of market uncertainty. So let's talk about how they did. Adjusted EPS 607, beating 584. That's what the street was looking for. On revenue of 22.22 billion, the street was looking for 21.8. So a beat on the top and bottom line. Net income, their take-home money 1.65 billion. They did give Q1 full year 2026 guidance, which was ahead of expectations for revenue, but missed on profitability. Adjusted EPS for Q1 guided here $3.4 to $4. That's just below the street's estimates of $4.06. So we'll keep an eye out on that. They did decent here, Brendo. Daily package volume up 6%, home delivery volume up 10%. And we've been seeing these numbers dwindle as Amazon has kind of taken upon themselves to ship these packages.
Yeah, if you zoom out, it could be a lot worse. Yes, it is better part of 4%, but it could be a lot worse here, guys, for FedEx. Again, another one of those names that's more of an economic bellwether than day trading type of stock.
Yeah, like obviously it's not going to be that exciting of a trade, but as you said, it could be worse. It held 215, so that's the good news for FedEx. And unless it gets to that price to trade off of the support on the daily chart, then I don't think, like, it's not going to get, it's almost certainly not going to get traded. But that's the only place I'd be looking. Give it the 3-day rule if for some reason you like it. It was trying to make a bottom before earnings. The fact that it held the local low is a good sign. If it can do that for the rest of the week, then you might have something there for FedEx. Otherwise, a bit of a pass. But yeah, like it could be something next week if it can hold on to $215 there on the bid for FedEx. I mean, go look at an Amazon chart and see which one you'd rather have.
Yeah, I'd rather have Big Bear AI right now, up 10% and going even higher right now. Why are we not punching long this thing immediately? But yeah, no, here, FedEx. I don't know if you guys can see the screen or if you're just seeing blue like I'm seeing right now. But okay, people are saying what is going on. All right, so yeah, all I can do is really talk. Thank you, Randy, for that. All I can really do is mention to you about those earnings. You know, down 3.5% again there today. You know, looking at a sort of another name, UPS. It was only down 1%. That's trying to get back to green. Only appreciate everybody's patience in this matter. And I was actually just saying that it's very rare that this, I don't remember the last time this is in lovely, powered up Toronto.
The one area of this market that continues to show relative strength versus equities anyways is this, IBIT. Crypto in general, here we go, just about to take out the highs here again today.
It's a good look here, Brendo. I mean, sold off a little bit there with the Middle Eastern tensions, but, you know, the risk-on sentiment is back on, especially yesterday with the Senate, specifically Senators Tim Scott, Senator Cynthia Lummis, aiming to define when a digital asset is going to be considered a commodity versus a security. They've introduced a bill which will allow exchanges to register either with the CFTC, which governs commodity, or the SEC, which governs, obviously, tokens, signaling a potential regulatory reset for the space. We also got the recent passing of the Genius Act, which was a stablecoin bill. It heads now to the House for reconciliation, so we'll have to see how it all does there. Separately, there's a regulated blockchain firm, a private company called Digital Asset. It secured $135 million of funding from big names like Goldman, BNP, Citadel, Ken Griffin's company, obviously. So yeah, keep your eye on the regulated blockchain companies doing quite well here, especially with Circle.
Yeah, we've seen over the past couple of days anything. I mean, the guys are talking about Robinhood. There's Coinbase to look at today, a whole bunch, guys, in the crypto land.
Yeah, well, Bitcoin just made a rally almost to 108,000 just now. 107.8. If you're watching iBit, that's going to be 61 1/3. That's what I'm going to be on today. Look, I can forget about dip buy, fill a gap kind of nonsense because that's $1 down from here. So you go back into looking to join on VWAP. That's where I'm looking on iBit. It's a big break. Obviously, all-time highs are within reach for Bitcoin here. So the first available dip into the pre-market high and the volume weighted average price is going to line up right about $61 on iBit. So if you guys can see it, well, it's completely going at this point. The other name, look, the other thing that you should be paying attention to in the crypto space, as we've said, the party has gone away from Circle and it's gone over to Coinbase and Robinhood. So, you know, whether you're looking specifically at iBet like myself, if you're looking at those other two names, pre-market high and VWAP lines up on Coinbase. Robinhood's a little bit of a different story as it's pulled right back into an all-time high break. The cautionary tale for me always comes down to if you break an all-time high in the pre-market and open underneath it, I don't like it. So I need to see if Hood opens underneath the all-time high, $85, and I don't like this at all. But yeah, as long as it can hold 85, I think that's also a long. Hopefully you guys are seeing us.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully they're seeing this as well. Bang, 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 bang. There it is, man. NVIDIA as posted on our sticky note. We have the 149 long right here for NVDA. So so far so good. Yeah, we don't see it on our screen, but I was watching the stream.
Okay, good.
Looks like we're up, so we appreciate everybody this morning for all of your patience. And there it goes right now, man. I just got out at 20%. We're long right here at 149.15. I do think that this eventually does break. Obviously, we have the order there ready to go at 150. So I'll put another offer up here near the 80s on NVIDIA, but there's the dip buy opportunity. And it came in, I'm assuming, because of the sell imbalance. So there it is, man. Gets us long right there, NVDA. So we'll see, man. We've been really, really, hitting this pretty hard for the AMD trades and the NVIDIA trades lately. AMD has been the #1 stock on this show all week, P&L wise. So every day, and I'm hoping it can be today again as well, or NVIDIA or one of these names, because we are definitely excited to play the momentum to the long side here on advanced micro devices. So we're going to wait. Nasdaq also doing its thing as well, up 0.4 right now. There's only 3 minutes left until the the market opens up. Apple, okay, back above 200, trying to hold out right now. That closing price of 200 could be another play here today, especially if this market gives up. Apple, not very strong yesterday early, did catch a bid in the middle of the day and now falling back down in. But again, I was just telling Neil that we told this story. It was literally 3 weeks ago or so when Big Bear AI was $3.50. I was talking with a buddy about fantasy sports, and I'm like, I don't really care about that. I care about making money. And he asked me for some picks, and we talked about Big Bear AI, and he bought an irresponsible amount. And then there it goes, man, all the way to the upside. So I just messaged him there. He now gets, the next 50 years on me for his entry fee, and he owes me a couple players. But there's the move right there, upside for Big Bear AI, man. I've been touting this name, since down here. We're finally starting to go, and Big Bear AI looking to get up to that $6. But we always zoom out and we think about these plays. So we got to watch out for this 6. We talked about that. I don't have an order out, but I'm thinking 620 would be decent, man. We'll take $2 on a piece of it. That's 50%. So if we can make 50% on this play, we'll do that. And then the other play that I'm surprised is not surprised, but it was up pretty big yesterday. Marvell up through 76. This is another buy that we had talked about in the last little while. And then again, Webull, we could talk about this, 1170. And then Uber had a huge move yesterday as well. This looks like it wants to pull back. Didn't it get to 92 or something yesterday?
91.
Yeah, 92.50. So right there yesterday, 92.50. Huge move up there for Uber yesterday. We'll see if it can come back in there today. But so that's it. Neil and I can't see each other, but I know you guys can see us. So that's
as long as it's working, everybody.
So that's great there. But all right, so we're just going to keep on going. You can see
got 1 minute
slowly coming back. Yeah, go ahead.
We've got 1 minute to go. That imbalance on NVIDIA did pair off a little bit there. I don't even see it anymore. I did see Circle for a small sell. I threw that in the chat. Quantscape is still a bit of a buy at 700,000. BBAI still there as a buy at 1.5. But I don't think anybody cares about BlackBerry. Look, nothing against you, BlackBerry, but I don't think anyone cares about you.
Just no way we can get this TV working.
One other name for you, Rigetti in the space. We got less than 1 minute to go. Rigetti, we were talking about this yesterday on the daily chart, so I won't show that to you again. It's a nice bottoming tail candle on the daily. Prior high sets 1160. Look for a dip and rip play on them. I'm not going to be shorting Apple. But I do think if it goes parabolic, this is the one name I'd fade up at some tops. Like if we get to the highs and can't break it through, it's probably the only thing that I'm remotely bearish on this morning. But we'll be looking at NVIDIA, AMD, Robinhood, Coinbase, like those, and iBit as well. But time to drop the countdown. It's hump day. It's all-time high challenge day. We got 5 seconds, Adara, so let's ring it right about now. And I just remembered we didn't even mention Palantir breaks an all-time high at 145, so that's also going to be in play. PLTR, I do believe I have my order locked and loaded for Palantir. Thank you very much, Ramin.
All right, thanks, Ramin, for that. All right, here comes NVIDIA, man. I'm going to just buy a little bit more right now just to make sure that I'm in. We just got out and I bought more, like stupid trading there, but I'm getting excited to buy a little bit more here of NVIDIA. So here we go. Let's wait to see what happens right now. 149 and change. We're nicely in the money. We're in the money 50 cents, but here it goes. It is going to break. So I'm actually going to buy some more right now. I don't want to miss the break. And that could happen. So let's wait to see. I'm not even sure how much size is here at
I haven't even
150.
seen it.
It looks decent. There's a couple 3,000s there. So let's wait to see what happens on that one now as well. Okay, so that's good. We can't really see the stream, but I know that you guys can. So far, so good there. Look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is absolute rip city.
More highs.
Right now, yeah, more highs for the Nasdaq. Big Bear AI doing its own thing here. Palantir as well, 145. We really love some Palantir as well there today, as that's rip city right now. But it's NVDA is the name that I'm in. So here we go, NVIDIA. Let's see what we can do here with a break higher on NVDA.
Yeah, Palantir has gone through Palantir broke the 145 position board, I guess, maybe not working. I'm long the 145 break. I'm staring down. Obviously, NVIDIA is at 150 as well. So I'm going to stare down that one as it tries to break. Is it going? Yeah, I guess it's not going to go. It's the wall that's at 90 is ridiculous on NVIDIA right now, so I guess it's not going to break. The other thing that's happening, Robinhood, thank goodness we didn't go long Robinhood. I said if it does not open above that all-time high, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. I hate failed breaks in the pre-market. You break in the pre-market an all-time high, I want you holding it. So NVIDIA, we'll see if it can break that 150. It's got to be the next thing for sure, as it's right there. AMD, whoa. That's not what I was expecting. AMD actually tanked into this NVIDIA move. So AMD could be retaking its high. Maybe that's why NVIDIA stalled out a little bit. I have two stops, one which is like gapped a little higher and one where I'm crossing more aggressively to make sure that I get a fill. And I have my dip buy still in. I guess I don't need the 148 dip buy. That's completely irrelevant at this point.
All right, yeah, that's not happening. We've been buying all the way up, man. We're long at 149.50 right now. Not 149.15. I've added to the position, and I'm glad that we have, because we're up more now. The fact that we added on the way up in the 70s, in the 80s, we added as well. Because here it goes, man. It is going to break just momentarily. Like, how about right now for a break of NVIDIA? No, almost. So there's the size there. There's a lot there, man. I mean, if you even sort of zoom, if I try to make this a little bit bigger so we can see that size when it does come through again there, because there was more than 3 digits there for sure on NVDA. So let's wait to see what winds up happening now. It still needs to break. There was big size there. I can't blame anybody for thinking maybe to get something out right here if you are long, because right now NVIDIA
I bet you some shorted.
Did just fade off. Yeah, you could have shorted that easily and you would have just made 30 cents right there, right? So big short available for NVDA. But here it comes again. We're going to wait to see what kind of size is there on the offer. I'm leaving this open so you guys can see all the digits, because if I even just zoom down a little bit here, yeah, you can't, because all the books aren't available yet. So there it is. So there's monster size there, about 5 million shares. All right, so let's wait to see what happens here with NVIDIA. It looks like they're trying to try to take it, 99s, 99s, 99s. Look at all the dark pools that are going through.
Once it's on the offer, it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go for NVIDIA. Looks like it's trying to go now, maybe now. Nope, maybe now, nope. And then there's the turnaround again, back into the downside. Wow. So one more time. So I feel like if you're taking the risk here, it's probably worth the short, just because you could, there it goes, because you could take some kind of profit. But here we go, upside surprise now. Bingo for NVIDIA. We're long everything right now. We're long from time, and it's NVIDIA's time right now to shine. Let's go, NVIDIA. Breaking through that 150. It's 2 times, it's 3 times daily goal right now, as we're going long on NVIDIA all day, baby. That was your trade of the day. Neil, it's happening again live on the show. That's another big trade there for NVIDIA. Let's go long. It's NVDA. It's a party in NVIDIA land, but will it hold? Not for long. There it goes back into 149.50. Wow, people getting excited, including myself. Big time movement there for NVDA.
Did you see it just bounce? That was clean off of the volume weighted average price there. So it broke, went to $0.50, came right back in, and then bounced off the volume weighted average price. I know that happened really fast, everybody, so it's hard to process, but there's the break, there's the fail break, and then it dips right into the volume weighted average price. It's trying to get back to 150. Oh. Position board's not working. Well, your position's right.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm in NVIDIA and I'm in Palantir as well. So I'm in only those 2 names, guys. I'm in NVIDIA, which you can clearly see, Palantir, which broke the 145. That briefly tagged 146.5, but it's an NVIDIA party. Apple also now up 1%. That's flying. Hey, everything is going to the upside here. But let's just go to we're going to Adara. Tesla is very close to that 333 zone. They were looking for the dip buy. Let's go to Adara at the desk.
Oh, can we? Okay, just be aware here, guys, that ASTS here asked AST Space Mobile announcing a registered direct offering. Nice push to the upside on this one. In spite of that, tons of analyst action, 27% short float. Back to you.
ASTS.
All right, here we go, man. Let's go. Let's go, NVIDIA. I mean, this is where the party's at for me. I probably will be trading absolutely nothing else other than NVIDIA right now. So trying to break through again that 150 marker goes NVDA. We did put down Big Bear AI, that there was a dip down opportunity for Big Bear AI, and it looks like we are getting that back into 540, 541 or so here for Big Bear. So that would be a trade to look at there for BBAI as well. But hey, man, it's NVIDIA's party, and I'm just part of it. Let's go, baby. This is a big trade, Neil. Big trade alert right now on NVIDIA. We reloaded it.
As NVIDIA was coming back in, Palantir also breaking out through the highs, so it's really just been those two. Sorry about the position board, everybody. It is not updating, but I am out of Palantir. But it also just broke the high of the day as it's flying through. NVIDIA is the party. It just tagged 150.5, almost on a dime, and then pull back, giving you the quarters next. But what's crazy is, I know we haven't covered this, Tesla down 1%. And continuing to crater. So I'm waiting for 333. That's the only zone that I liked. So that's got to be the level that we wait for. I know there's a lot of other names that are breaking out in the chip space. SMCI is up 5%. AMD is looking okay, up a couple of points. But you got to focus on the one right now. NVIDIA all-time highs is taking the cake. I feel like the next trade is going, like Tesla is very close to that 333 zone. So I knew we were going to wait for this one. Let's see if we can get it.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Everyone's getting hyped up now, Neil. Let's go, baby. There we go, man. We've got Sharif. We've got Joe. We've got my hype man over here, Neil. We've got everybody ready to go. So let's keep it on. There it goes, man. NVIDIA now 150.70 here for NVIDIA. But now we're just playing around. I hope everybody's got this name. I mean, we were able to get it at 149, then 149.50. And it is really, really starting over here. So I appreciate all the excitement from the guys on my left over here and the coverage from Neil here. So, but we're just getting excited, man. We, you know, like I said, when you're making, like I trade for the family, right? And I trade for you guys. So I'm happy when these things go into the profit one more time. It helps pay for some of those golf simulator rounds with my son. But there it goes, man. 150.40, 150.50. Huge move upside right now. So it's a big win, and I just want to appreciate and thank everybody that's on this chat, man, because you know, without the support of you guys, you know, I'd still be sitting here trading and doing what we're doing, but it's really fun to do it with everybody else, man. And there it goes, man. It's 4 times our goal now. I don't remember the last time we ever said that. So it's a nice move to the upside, man. And it's all about the sticky note. This is like 6 or 7 days in a row that we absolutely took every trade that we see on here, look at it, trade it, and then it's all the way to the upside. So there it goes, man. Big day alert for NVIDIA. We finally manned up, man, and we took the shares that we wanted to, and it's absolutely huge right there for NVDA. But see you later, man. Upside for that one. The other plays we had was Webull on here today. Bull. Okay, that's bull.cn. That's not the right trade. Webull's actually pulling back quite nicely. Right now, the Palantir dip is not there. Big Bear AI as well, 540. But there goes NVIDIA to the upside right now. 151 for NVIDIA right now. Oh boy, this is an absolute monster. 151, Neil's broken right there to the upside. Oh man, I hope you're loaded up over there, Neil, because this name is Rip City right now. Congratulations to all, and to all who shorted it, a good night. But we are long, and it is go, 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 all the way there to the upside What's going on over there with you? Yeah,
the position board's not working, guys. Sorry, I do have another position in addition to NVIDIA. I just took IBIT on a dip buy. As I look, NVIDIA continues to go. You're at 151.25 and continuing to rally. I did dump out of Palantir, and I say dump because that I'm in the dumps over getting out of it. We did get the dip buy back in at 145 in PLTR. These are all-time highs for Palantir right now.
Yeah.
So every single tick is a new all-time high on Palantir. Every single tick is a new all-time high on NVIDIA. Maybe not yet. Did Coinbase? Yes. Well, no, sorry. 52-week highs on Coinbase. My bad. These are not all-time highs on Coinbase. Coinbase up 5% as well. So the party continues, and we're headed back to Adara, I believe, for another news update. I had to turn the volume off on this.
Of course, this one dropped earlier this week after Novo Nordisk basically said they're not going to have this partnership that allows Hims and Hers to carry their drugs. The Hims CEOs continued to just really get on Novo Nordisk's grill. They said that they definitely still want to carry the drug. So, I mean, it's unclear if their actions can actually change anything. But either way, nice positive sentiment today, I guess, for HIMS. Pretty good short float here, I believe over 30% and tons of retail attention for this company. Just to be aware here, guys, it is 9:41 a.m. right now. In about 20 minutes at 10 a.m., we're going to get new home sales. That'll be the numbers and the month-over-month change. And we'll also get Fed Chair Powell's testimony beginning there, this time for the Senate. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, so I can't really hear Adara, so whatever that was, did you?
New home sales is coming out in 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah,
yeah, it was working for me. I didn't realize you couldn't hear it.
What else? What did you give any stocks there, or?
Well, not stock specific, of course. Remember, the hearings are also going on there, but new home sales is a big number. Powell's going to be back at 10 o'clock, obviously. Okay. Some concern here for Tesla, everybody. So I thought it just bounced without me. In front of 333, but it got to 339 and right back into the low. So it looks like Tesla's going to break the low of the day again, unless it can double bottom here, or triple bottom, whatever you want to call that. It's still going to wait for 333. This one's catching a falling. Long, and then VWAP, I mean, IBIT at the volume weighted average price. We said wait for the volume weighted average price. We took it. But if we can't break out this top on IBIT, like we're screaming through the highs on most things that I'm looking at that aren't Apple and Tesla. So if we don't break out this high, I'll probably get out and buy back in at the volume weighted average price one more time here on Bitcoin, which is resisting 108,000. That's the top here. If we break 108,000, we hold. If we can't break 108,000, we'll get out and look for another re-entry point. So yeah, it's pretty much all bullish here. I don't know what's going on in the small cappers. I know you're looking at BBAI, and there was QuantumScape was the other that was piquing a lot of people's interest. But if you're not on the chips, hey, QuantumScape's up 42%. You're probably doing just fine there as well. That nice bounce off the pre-market lows. Just IBIT and NVIDIA for myself. And thank God we didn't buy that dip in Tesla this morning.
We can look at Tesla. Oh, boy. I apologize for getting so excited. It's just one of those things, man. All right, so BBAI, you know, that's made a move down. We wrote down 515 maybe as a dip buy opportunity for Big Bear AI. It's coming back in here. There is some sort of a seller on this name. And like we said, they're still not making money. So, you know, whether or not this name wants to rip the rest of the day or not, Big Bear AI coming back in. We've almost like doubled our month here, and it's June 25th with this NVIDIA trade. So we're happy with what's been going down over here so far today. So and I'm getting more and more out. Unfortunately, I only have a quarter left, which is not unfortunate, but it's, you know, would have liked to have a little bit more, obviously, as this continues to rip higher. Remember, the all-time high is 153 and change. So, you know, it's just a good one here today for me, and that is NVIDIA. Okay, so let's go over and look at Uber again, and we'll have a quick look over here. 91.50. The other names that we had written down was Big Bear AI, but Big Bear AI, I don't know. It's getting close for me to buy some for sure, I would think. Palantir, Webull, I put Webull at 1130 was a stock that we wanted to look at down here. So I think that this is coming back into 1130, which was kind of yesterday's level there for Webull. So I know that there's a lot of attention on the Nasdaq right now, and not just on the Nasdaq, but on NVIDIA, and Nasdaq continuously ripping right now as it's up 0.5% when the ES is only up 0.2. So right now that's where it's all at. I just bought some right here, so we are now long 37 change, rounding us up to 38, as there are a bunch of half prints that are going on through here. So I'm going to take Webull. A second position right now. We have long, again, not working on the board right now is the position board, but we are trying to get this all up and running for you again. But we're long Webull, and oh boy, NVIDIA. Like I said, I can't see, you know, Neil's positions or anything like that. But this NVIDIA trade is, like I just said, man, we've doubled our month right here, and it's still going higher and higher right now. So this has been just an absolutely monster trade. We love that level. We've been crushing it on AMD. We flip it over. To me, there was only one. I haven't even looked at anything else today. There was only one opportunity, and we talk about reading books and all that, the one good trade. I mean, all you're looking for is this. And there it goes, right? I'm looking for strategies that we can replicate every single day. And yesterday it was AMD. The day before it was AMD. Monday it was Tesla. Just huge trades, and they just work. And if they don't work, you punch out. We saw that with Apple yesterday. When we were going long Apple 202, and it didn't, well, now Apple 202 is fine, but yesterday, and it broke, we got out of that almost immediately when we broke through here and didn't suffer this, right? So that's the difference of trading in NVIDIA versus trading anything else, is that is look at this name continue to run. If it fails, we're out. You know, but when it doesn't fail and you've got the goods, then yeah, this is what can happen right there. So it's a big one here for NVDA, and I think you guys all know that by this time. So Webull and NVIDIA, the only two names we're in. I'm long at 1138 here on Webull, and we're long at 149.60, 149.60 on NVDA. So yeah, good day over here so far.
Yeah, we grabbed. I did grab profits on iBit and NVIDIA, so I've tipped out at both the 101, the 150.5. Sorry about the position board, everybody. They're going to get it working for sure. I don't know that it's at any point showed my positions. I think it's only showing Sean's for whatever reason. iBit, VWAP to the high, simple plan. If you like the long, try to join it on any kind of a dip buy. I'm going to jump right back on all the bids. I was already bidding VWAP when you had this like checkup. I said I was going to put a trailing stop in, put a trail on NVIDIA. It's just like AMD, but you've already seen it with Sean, so that's obviously going to be a good one. The one I'm not happy with is going to be Palantir, but maybe we get a chance to rectify that. Palantir just took the dollar scalp, the $0.50 and the dollar on the breakout trade to keep it clean, but I'm looking for the pullback into VWAP on this name, 146. Palantir is an actual all-time high. I believe we are going back over to Adara at the desk.
A downturn, though, of course, a really strong session so far. We have comments coming in from Feds. Collins, she's saying that tariffs are very likely to push up inflation and lower growth and hiring, and that she expects to see more tariff impact in the coming months when it comes to data. She did say that she expects it to be appropriate to lower rates later this year, but it's going to depend on what tariffs are. So we have a more hawkish Fed coming out here, even though we've had a couple Feds, including Bowman and Waller in recent days, suggesting they're comfortable with a July cut. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair, for that update. Appreciate it for sure. So looking right now at that Palantir is pulling back. It just lost 147. So as to what is next, this is the first one I think that's going to get the dip. Looks like it's going to make a little bit of sense to me. Like it's a strong trending stock. So you want to try to join strength on the way back in. Bit of a mean reversion happening on Palantir. Again, NVIDIA, maybe it dips, maybe it doesn't. I do like VWAP there, but it's so far away, it feels like Palantir would come first. Here's what's going on in some other places, everybody. AMD, not necessarily the one today, 1.5%, so up, but about to lose VWAP as we speak. Yesterday, it was pretty noticeable. There were a couple of moments where NVIDIA would go, AMD would pull back, AMD would go, NVIDIA would pull back. So if that's what's happening, I want to be ready if this is able to actually fill in the gap. The other way I like to play the long continuation is pull back in a prior high. So an AMD is going to be on my mind as well, but not nearly as strong as NVIDIA as the market starts to pull back in here. So I just want to show you guys the cues here. zoom it in so you can see. The Q's back in through VWAP. This is where I'm looking for those dip buys, right? Like NVIDIA's even starting to come back a little bit here. So we got to play that patience game. I'm out of it. Best fill at 151.30 or so. Did get a little bit higher, but I'm waiting for this to dip back into VWAP. You're seeing the market come back in here. This is the chance to either reload longs or get in for the first time at this point. PKD saying Intel Tank City. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, you see, I just saw AMD pushing through VWAP. I guess the weaker chip names be pushing through the low of the day. So this is the dip buy opportunity, everybody. Oh, now position board's working because I just got IBIT coming back in. So we're in IBIT for the second time. We had it at VWAP before, playing it off the prior highs. I'm on bid of NVIDIA at the volume weighted average price, and we're back into some IBIT. Is the Nasdaq still green, but bouncing off VWAP?
All right, welcome everybody back to the NVIDIA show one more time. Yeah, so Webull, yes, good. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so there's my real NVIDIA price, 149.65. So some more outs here. It is obviously falling back in. Look at what the Nasdaq is doing. A nice move back in right there for NDAQ, the Nasdaq. Yeah, we're not worried too much about it. We just got something out there. As I sat back, I went to go get a water. So cheers up to everybody who's Hydration Nation right now. So nice. All right, so yeah, we can have a look quickly at Tesla. I mean, that was another name that we had on our mind at 330 actually, and there it comes right back into 330. So Tesla getting wrecked right now to the downside. So there goes Tesla right now. We talked about sort of the bad catalyst there today with the numbers coming out of Europe, and yeah, it seems like those catalysts were not well received at all. Breaking yesterday's after, and that's what we were saying. Like, you wanted to see what happened at 540. 340, and 340 wasn't even a thing. It came and gone.
Neither was 33. There wasn't even a bid there.
There was really nothing here. So it's just continue to fall down in there. Now you're into 330, so maybe there's a level there for Tesla. Looking back, 330. Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, when you zoom out, you eventually find something. But yeah, Tesla moved down. Right now, Webull moved down as well. Like, I couldn't believe when we saw Webull this morning and where it was kind of like, okay, for Webull, but we'll buy a little bit more down here, see if we can get that fill, and then average in just a little bit. I mean, looking at $11 breaking there for Webull, that could be, you know, that sort of next idea. That's where the 50 period moving average, sorry, the 200 period moving average is down here on a 5 minute is 1090. So we may have to give this a little bit more room to fall back in there for Webull. Hey man, if you didn't buy that dip on NVIDIA, I don't know, we'll see if there's another one, but the market gives you a gift right there to buy some NVIDIA down at 150.70. Now you're 50 cents in the money, but you know, trades are tough to come across sometimes, and you got to sort of stick your neck out. And for me, we don't need to reload anything. So right now, as we continue to get back to the high side right now with NVIDIA, just taking out some more profits. The best we have outs are 151.75s or so for NVDA. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just keep on. I'm just going to get out smaller amounts here as we go back there to the upside on NVIDIA, just to see if we can retake that 152 and then get into that 153 area, which is, of course, all-time highs. What's up, Adara?
Rumble on watch. One of the company's leaders here, Chris Pavlovsky, posting on X that there are two major projects the company is trying to deliver this year, Rumble Wallet and Rumble Shorts. Now, both of these seem like they're pretty early stages. He said he only briefed the team on Rumble Shorts as of this morning, but just be aware, RUM on watch, pushing to the upside. Also, keep an eye on the market. Fed's Collins seeing core PCE inflation above 3% by the end of the year due to tariffs. So some hawkishness again coming from Fed's Collins today. In less than 10 minutes, we will get Fed's Powell with a second day of testimony, this time for the Senate, and we will also get new home sales.
I don't hear Adara, though,
you.
Ramin. That's all.
Adara, in about 5 minutes, like you said, we'll have some economic data. We'll have Powell. It should be somewhat of a nothing burger. It's less interesting each day of that testimony. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're into that sort of a thing. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's that actually finds that stuff interesting. You never know what's going to be asked. That said, going back into the market, we saw the Nasdaq just bounce off the volume weighted average price. Palantir pulled back into the volume weighted average price at $146. All-time high now set at 146. Sorry, check that, 147.67. Let's see if we can't rebound back into that level. Next, Tesla, wow. This might maybe, look, it's a bottoming tail candle on Tesla. It's not the level I was looking at. It was 330, but then, sorry, 333, but like nothing happened at 333. There was no buyer. There was nothing. You're getting the bottoming tail candle now on Tesla. If I didn't like Palantir better, I might have taken a shot at it. But Palantir bouncing off volume weighted average price. That's a strong one. No, like you can guess at the bottom on Tesla and hope to get along, or buy the dip on one of these names that's going parabolic, which, you know, it's Palantir, it's Nvidia, it's probably Coinbase. I haven't looked at Coinbase, so don't. Actually, you know what? Coinbase pulling back a little bit here. Coinbase underneath volume weighted average price. So Palantir is still looking strong. Nvidia is still looking strong. Some of the crypto names pulling back. I did get a reload into IBIT. That's holding up decently. So trend up on IBIT, but trending down a little bit on Coinbase. I'm a little bit surprised by that you're not seeing the strength in coin. Go figure. You know what? It's been so strong the last couple of days. Maybe some profit taking here this morning on coin.
Yeah, it could be. Looks like there's no losers around here today. So congratulations to everybody for that. Look at a good reload here for us on Webull right there. So let's get a little bit out right now. Obviously, we're long at 111.34. I mean, we're looking for more than 10 cents, but we'll take some out there at 40, and then it busts upside right now. We're waiting at 44s to get a little bit more out, and then if we could take that 50, actually, now that I'm seeing level, we should put maybe something out there just before 50 to get out of another piece, and then we'll wait to see it. There it is, man. Trying to go again, man. We did have a little bit of a dip down there in NVDA, but now it's continuously going higher. And boy, man, were we like, when we had bought, remember we bought at 105, we bought at 103 on Bitcoin. We bought 103 first, then we bought 105 on the way down. And I was like, what have we done? Because we broke into that 98, 99,000 mark on Bitcoin over the weekend. But right now, it just continues to move higher right there. BTC, we can have a quick little look to see what some of these other coins are up to today as well. We do have the Crypto Minute coming at 10 o'clock. We do have new pending home sales coming as well at 10, so that's coming up. But Ethereum right now, 24, not doing like the rest. Of course, we sold out of our Ethereum about $100 higher than this. Bitcoin right there, upside, obviously Solana up 2.5%, Ripple, XRP up to 2% right now, back to 222. So that's good. That's roughly where we last bought it. And then Cardano, the other name that I have, is zeros right now, 58 cents. So yeah, so far so good. I mean, like I said, today's show brought to you by NVIDIA and power problems. But NVIDIA right now powering up, and it's just go right now for NVDA. It's just an absolutely huge trade. Like I said, we virtually doubled our month right there on this one idea. So this is what it's about. I know there's a lot of you that trade for big days, and if you do have that, there it goes with NVIDIA, and congratulations. It's not easy to get these plays because you can make it the wrong way. Like if we're into enough shares here that if this goes down, you know, like we said, you double your month, you lose your month. And it's just a matter of confidence and having that. And we did that, and NVIDIA worked out for us. So, you know, there's no point in putting in all the work and then not getting aggressive with something. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like every time the market opens up is a brand new opportunity, you know, to prove like the way that you're thinking is right or wrong. And I like to do that. So there it goes on NVIDIA. We'll wait for that one to go, and then we do have pending U.S. home sales again in just 40 seconds. And Webull's trying to go. So I am at 44, waiting to get there as well. Trump live at NATO, yeah, maybe.
He is
right now. So yeah, so he is. So that's good. So we'll have.
But there's been comments all morning from Trump, and none of them are going to move the market.
Yeah, I'm still in a daze. So okay, there we go. We can go over to Adair and find out what she's up to.
About 15 seconds away from numbers and the start of Fed Chair Powell's second day of testimony, this time for the Senate. We're going to get new home sales in 10 seconds now. 693,000 is what we're expecting. Previous 743,000. Then for new home sales changes, we're expecting negative 6.7%. Both of these prints lower than expected. New home sales coming in at 623,000 versus 693,000 expected. That's also well below the previous print of 743,000. As you might expect, new home sales change month over month here, also lower than expected. Negative 13.7% versus negative 6.7% expected, and the previous a positive 10.9%. Nasdaq making a little bit of a lower high here, but there's certainly some things to be optimistic about in this market, namely Nvidia, which has usurped Microsoft once again to become the largest market cap company in the world, or I guess publicly traded here. Good look for NVDA. Tesla, meanwhile, is dropping after reporting its 5th straight month of sales declines here on a year-over-year basis. In Europe, May sales down about 27% year over year. Coinbase also still up on the day, but giving back a little bit here from its highs. Lots of these, I guess, parabolic movers, for lack of a better term, on watch today. Back to you.
Thank you, Darren. Maybe not too much movement on pending home sales, but look, unless you're trading a home builder, you probably don't care, which is fine. Actually, some of them have moved around this week. Look, Palantir just lost the volume-weighted average price. We took one bounce, good. Took the second bounce, no good. We'll give some back there on Palantir. We'll wait for it to get back into the prior all-time high is 145. That's where the initial break was on PLTR. You could have had the pre-market high break, which, when I'm looking back at this, sometimes you just take, like, even dollars are kind of silly. You just take 144.75 as the breakout trade, and then maybe take the other half at 145 even. Get yourself a better price. Why not? That's where the resistance is. But that's in hindsight, which is always 20/20. But why not? Like, if the breakout was a little bit earlier, you could have had 25 cents better. If we get back to that price, that's where I look for a bit of a dip. IBIT's still basically at the same spot. It's got a nice trend, higher lows, but I think I wait as it continues to trend higher. I think the dip buy will work its way back into the volume-weighted average price again. So we're going to stay long on IBIT. Nvidia has yet to dip into the volume-weighted average price. Tesla, my goodness, thank good. Like, look at this stupid thing. Right back into the low of the day. It was just bouncing off 330. It just broke 330 to the downside the second I pulled it back up again. Tesla doesn't have a bid on it yet. I guess something going on with E-signal there. I think you got to, maybe we get to $320 or something really extreme. 3% to the downside. Tesla is absolutely bleeding. Yesterday, I like the level and just bid in front of it like a fool. Today, if it doesn't show me some kind of a bottoming tail or entry point at the level I like, then I'm not touching it. If it gets to 325 and I don't like what I see, I don't have to buy it. And that's a good rule to have, because you get yourself into a world of trouble if you break that rule. So Tesla, I'm going to stay away from. We'll look to see if we can get back into NVIDIA and add to IBIT at some point. But NVIDIA holding 151. It's still in the same range where I got out, but slightly downward trending. The market's at VWAP. I think if the market breaks VWAP, you get to pick this one back up in front of the 150 level. And shout out to everyone looking at SoFi. Not SoFi. Check that. SMCI. SoFi sucks. SMCI almost 10% to the upside. I'm disappointed in SoFi.
Yeah, I was trying to sell it if we got a little bit higher than where we were right now. But okay, new position again. You guys can see what's going on right now. If you're ever wondering what names I'm going to trade, please go over here. And I want to thank all the kind words from everybody there in the chat, man. I mean, for what we're talking about right there. NVIDIA, BBAI, Palantir, and Webull. So, I mean, it's these are the names that I'm in right now. And we'll wait to see, again, how far we go up. We were able to get out of some Webull up there. We got that 44 print that we were hoping for. We did not get the 50s as it's trying to pull back. I mean, check the Nasdaq, right? I mean, it's going to be tough to sit on some bids if the Nasdaq is doing this. So we're going to have to be patient and wait to see what's going on with the NQs, because nice little pullback right there. I mean, we've been getting out, as you can see on NVIDIA. I'll take one more out right now at 20. I just offered 29s. That might be, let me take a little bit more at 18. Okay, we'll take some out more at 18 right there. And we still are offering 29s right now. So, oh man, yeah, we're gonna wait and wait to see what winds up happening right now with most of these plays. But yeah, so for Big Bear AI, it's my newest position. For NVIDIA, it is what it is, man. NVIDIA is already huge. Like, we still got another hour to go. It's gonna be fun to do that, but we've, like I said, man, it was a monster open for me on NVIDIA. And, like we said, big time trade there, and just be confident in what you're trying to do. So here on Big Bear AI, we wrote down 515. You know, and we talked about if it dips, this is what we wanted to do on this dip. So where are we long, man? 516 right now, and it's up to 522. So it looks like we're going to go 3 for 3 so far on our ideas. Let's offer some out here at 22, and there it is. We get some. So now we'll wait to see what happens here with Big Bear AI. We're going to go 3 for 3 over here, and really big day. Yeah, I don't. Been hard to follow. Like, oh, Neil's positions are now there.
They started working about 10 minutes in.
Are you having a big day?
Oh yeah, well, it's a good day. There's no question about it. Look, it's not going to be like doubling my month because Circle happened this month, which skews pretty much everything. Like the Circle day dwarfs anything that I will have done. It's just you get a trade like that, and it's so clean and it was so big on the first day that you're just not going to beat it, which is fine because I know the IPOs can do that. CoreWeave was a similar story. Just very quickly, I'm only in one position, but why am I looking at Blue Ocean?
Oh man,
there we go. Circle. My chart's having a bit of issues on Circle, but this is still languishing to the downside. Ignore volume weighted average price if you see a gap in the chart. That does look ugly. The rest of the crypto space is looking pretty good here. Like IBIT's still trending up. We're long that one a couple of times, VWAP, and then the first available dip. I'm going to buy the next available dip there as well as we go back to Adara again.
Just be aware here, we do have this start of the second day of testimony for Fed Chair Powell. Keep an eye on the market. Right now, we're just getting, I guess, opening statements here from these members of the Senate Banking Committee. If there's anything of note, I'll keep you guys aware and apprised. Right now, we just have Donald Trump talking about that spending increase for NATO, which we mentioned earlier today. He said also that any additional money spent here within this increase for the, I guess, this military budget should be spent in military hardware, and that NATO should be buying specifically American defense items. Defense names did not move on this. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. I just realized something. I got hit in ARM. So not hit in the arm, I got hit in ARM. That tagged almost $160, which anybody that knows if I'm selling in front of 160, then I probably sold it at 159.42 or 69. You can guess which one. It doesn't really matter. But all the chips are really strong today. Only 1% up, however, is ARM. Got to a first resistance spot. This is one of a couple of things that got bought down in the April lows at the 86 level. So ARM looking good. Tesla looking bad. Yikes, Tesla still looks incredibly bad. IBIT, just to give you an idea where the target is on IBIT. He's popping up there. I'm looking right here at 61.75. So if you go back to the 16th, then that's going to be the level. I don't know what that works out to on Bitcoin precisely, but the next level, 61.75. I'm looking for that. If I don't get a dip buy, then I think we'll dip buy by then at some point. I don't think we're going clean to 61.75, but I'm still looking to get another dip buy on trend in IBIT as it's looking pretty strong. Market looking good, but IBIT's the only thing I'm in. As I got out of Palantir, that's not a real wick. Now you're back above the volume weighted average price. So we went 2 for 3 on Palantir. Still not going to give up on it, but I'd rather see it close VWAP and look a little bit stronger after that $2 pullback.
Okay. This is at 152. Like, just to go through what was going on in the mentality, I was buying this before we even broke 150. Like I was like, there's no way I'm missing this move up for NVIDIA today. And like, it's just, it gave us, I don't even know, like it was upgraded by Loop Capital. And like, that doesn't even really seem like that great of a situation there. But yeah, it was, and it's going. So NVIDIA, I've taken some more out right here at 152. So right now I have 10% left. So to the moon with NVIDIA right there. And again, a big congratulations to everybody for sure who has this trade. I mean, that was a good one. I just hope that you guys some of you were able to put something on there on NVDA. So, okay, that's what's going on there. All right, so we only have 10% left. We can let that settle. Let's go over to another trade, right? I mean, Webull was another one on our minds, but I'm looking at this. I don't really like how it's trading. It's not using the volume that I would have liked for it to use here. There's not really too much going on in Webull right now. You know, I did think anyways that with all this excitement here today that, you know, we could have an opportunity to get a Webull dancing around a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it wants to do anything. It did have a higher high off the open, and then that's it. It stopped. So right here, Robinhood, same kind of thing. Look off the open, we made some nice moves up to 85.50. And then dropped in and down $1 now, right? So there's that sort of that open high, and then there's the drop down for Robinhood as well. So, all right, just quickly here, you know, we can't talk about Big Bear AI. Like yesterday, it was great off this $5 level. Today, we only got a little bit out there when it ripped up, and then now the selling is coming right in on Big Bear AI. Remember, these guys aren't making money, and there's a big seller that keeps showing up here for pretty much every level with 400 or 5,400 on there, which would be, you know, 30 to 40,000 shares. We just averaged in there at 505, but that's our last offer, our last bid, sorry, for Big Bear AI. We're long right now at 509. So obviously that's, you know, worth it for me. I'm gonna get out a little bit more here of NVIDIA in case it does drop down. Like obviously it's a monstrous trade, but you know, what are we supposed to do? Like we talked about it there on Circle. We had crazy trades on Circle, crazy trade here on NVIDIA. Yeah, just trade your book, trade your style. And you know, that's the only way that you're gonna be able to up your level, right? Is, you know, get confidence in what you're doing. And I think that that's something that we definitely have. Tesla 325. Wow. We talked about, you know, writing some calls or something like that up
covered
here,
calls.
covered calls if you have the shares during that move up to 360. And yeah, huge move the last couple of days. And then there's Tesla today. It's giving everything back, right? It was
It's
up
not the only thing.
No, it's giving us up, what, 9% this day, and now you're below the robo-taxi day. So there's the day. We're right at this level right now for Tesla. So maybe there's something there, but I don't know, man. It's not looking overly healthy at these levels, I don't think, here anyways, for Tesla covering that all the way back up. I still like it, but it's probably a buy down here, three teens. I don't know which teen, but somewhere in there, man. 15? I don't know. We'll wait to see where it goes. But down 5%. Like, what happens if this Nasdaq actually loses a bid? That's a problem. Big Bear AI goes in the money again. So let's take something out at 11s. We'll see if we can get some 14s and 15s. But Big Bear AI, let's just get some out. I mean, if we can put a win on this name today, despite what it's doing, I think that's good. And all we're trying to do is stack up. We told you the kind of day that I'm having. So happy with that. Don't want to, even to give back 2% of the day on Big Bear AI, let's just be responsible. Like if this breaks $5, then we're gonna have to give it a good look. I'm getting out if it breaks 495, Big Bear AI, and then Webull is right there as well. So I just covered like 4 or 5 names. If there's anything else, like there's gonna be lots of
Palantir is actually losing the bid pretty precipitously. This is why you $143. So maybe that's the next bounce zone. So IBIT just trailed out. I wait for the volume at whatever price. The longs are great early, but I'm now out of all my longs from earlier. They were good, but the market continues to pull back in here. Let's wait for the dip buy and go to a dare at the desk.
Really, for lack of a better term, confounding comments coming here from President Donald Trump about the conflict between Israel and Iran. So in case you missed it, there is that ceasefire announced as of Tuesday morning, Monday night. Donald Trump saying that both Israel and Iran are tired, they're satisfied to go home and get out, they're both exhausted, but the conflict could start again, and Trump said, guess it could start soon. So even though there is a ceasefire, Donald Trump thinks there's sounds like a pretty strong potential that this conflict could start up again, and pretty quickly. Back to you.
But if it breaks 144, then we're just going to revert. We're just going to do right now. We're just going to revert back over to our note that says 143.50. So yeah, we're long right here at 35s right now. Just one fill, very small amount of shares. we'll give back less than 1% of our day if and when this breaks 144. Small trade, just wanted to see, was hoping that we could bounce, and then if it went up $1 or so, then the risk to reward would be a little bit better for us. But for right now, it just looks like meh here on Palantir as it's fallen back in. I wanted to test it off the 200 period, so I don't even know if it broke there. Maybe we got a 144.01 fill there, but all right, so we'll slap that downside on PLTR. We are human. There is a loss right there for Palantir. Yeah, NVIDIA's holding up. Webull, if Webull breaks 15s, we're out. So it almost broke it right there. So I'm thinking of getting a little bit more out here on Webull, even at this 23 level if we can, because we almost got faded out right there on Webull. It looks like it is trying to battle back. But today's the NVIDIA show, man. It's still going, 151 and change. It stays high. And the Nasdaq is all the way down here. I think there's a huge opportunity here for NVIDIA to break through that 152 level and even get higher. So this is going to be one that we stick with and wait for that. Big Bear AI is broken now through $5. So this is our out. If it continues to go a little bit lower, then we're out. We talked about where, here comes our out right now at 95 break. So if it breaks 95, I don't even have to hit my keys. We're going to stop out of Big Bear AI. So it looks like we will give some back. I'll tell you the percentage there. See that offer? The offer just keeps on getting kind of stacked up a little bit there on us, on Big Bear. So it looks like it wants to break. There it is. 94 is gone. Now there's some decent size at 94, but it's going to disappear in just a couple quick seconds there. So we'll get out. We'll slap the fail there on Big Bear AI to the downside. We gave back 8% of our day right there with Big Bear AI. So not the end of the world. We still do have Tesla going higher, and we did take out some Webull right there as well at 23s just to like stop the bleeding a little bit. We're long at 25 there. So Big Bear AI, definitely Big Bear fail today. Like we had it yesterday, which was fine, but there it is. Look at that. Down 7% right now for Big Bear AI. At least we waited for 515 and didn't get like that FOMO early. As I said, made a nice high right there at $6, and then whoops, there it goes, downside there. Wow, Palantir does this good thing again, man. We're on these names. It's just, what are you going to do? We get stopped out when we get stopped out there on PLTR. At least we had the right idea there. Unfortunately, we get stopped out by like 5 cents and get out there on PLTR. But what can you do there on Palantir?
Well, the way this, go ahead.
No, it came in right into the levels that we wanted, and I just didn't hold it.
Same thing happening in IBIT, but I'm just going to try to, if it does end up holding underneath VWAP, then I'm going to try it again. But the way the market's pulling back in, sometimes you got to let it draw back further. It hasn't bounced yet. VWAP is just a line on a chart, everybody. The longs are starting to come back into the downside. Even we're going to go to Adair in a quick little second. There was a hell bid on Apple for a while that just broke as well. I had my eyeballs on that for a mean reversion. Just a quick trend break back into VWAP, and that just broke lower. So we're going to continue to play the patience game, especially with IBIT there. And Palantir, for me, I was waiting a little bit lower. Maybe we still get 143, the prior close, because once 45 broke, the prior close what matters to me. Let's go to Adara. I believe it should be time for the small cap recap. I wonder how QuantumScape is doing.
I can go over small caps while I'm here. I have them all prepared, but I also want to let you guys know that we do have the Trump administration urging the appeals court to back their tariff power. That came out. The bigger thing, though, keep an eye on oil. I have USO up right now. Keep an eye on USO. Donald Trump, president of the U.S., continuing to make a lot of comments here about Iran and Israel, saying that he thinks Iran won't get back into nuclear and that they're not, they're going to be relying on their own intelligence with regards to that. He said they're not giving up on Iran sanctions and they're not giving up on pressure campaign against Iran, that China will be wanting to, I guess, buy some oil and can buy from the U.S. or others. So again, oil fluctuating here as we do get some more geopolitical comments coming out. Keep an eye on Wells Fargo and some of these banks as well, because these senators are grilling Fed Chair Powell pretty hard about the removal of that asset cap there for Wells Fargo, which came a little bit earlier. Let's go over these small caps. Here's ICU. C-Star announcing they're going to try to regain Nasdaq compliance right now. Still below that $1 mark, trading around 57 cents. We also have, let's take a look here at FEMY. This is Femasys. FEMY, much like ICU, has rallied in the past. Today announcing that they've gotten European approval for a permanent birth control. So good look there for FEM, or non-surgical birth control, sorry. It's a good look here for FEMY. Last but not least, Mullen. This one actually down, but a little bit of an interesting catalyst. They are now accepting Bitcoin and Trump meme coin. So cool look for MULN. Interesting stories there, and back to you.
I just looked at that was probably the easiest $1 break to the downside on that news. On Mullen accepting Bitcoin, I wish I'd heard that news. That's an easy fade off a pop because Mullen's still Mullen regardless of whether they accept Bitcoin or not. Like that doesn't, you can't just gloss over.
No. Neil, what's your opinion here on NVIDIA? Because we just broke 152.50.
It's going to get to the all-time high. That's what I think.
All right, so let's. Yeah, I don't know. We're now $3 in on this one. So there it goes, man. I was just talking with Joe over there as well, and I was just like, he's talking about there's some action up there at 155, expiring Fridays. So we're going to wait to see if it can get there. This, again, like if you guys are watching the stream, we want to thank you. We want to thank everybody's patience for what today was early on when we did have those power issues. We want to give thank you to Mark, Fabian, Andre, sort of Ramin, things like that, for all of the help that they gave in getting this stream going. So thank you guys for that. I just noticed, like I noticed this, I was told you over the weekend or whatever, I was talking and looking to clean up some of the trades that I have. I actually have QuantumScape. I'm gonna get out. I had a very, very small position. I was actually just loading up my phone right now to find out what exactly we were in on here for QuantumScape. But this is a huge move up 35% today alone for QS. So nice move there. NVIDIA on a little bit of a pullback right there. So yeah, although I do believe Neil's call of all-time highs today, I'm going to get out right in and around here. We have much less than that 10% now, as we were covering at 152, and we do have some nice covers right there at 152.50. So, you know, the losing trade there, unfortunately, we did wind up losing out on Big Bear AI. Palantir was just a little sloppy. We should have held it for a little bit longer, but we wrote down 143.50. So thank you, Landon. Thank you, everybody there in the chat for your kind words. It does mean a lot to us over here. So, but yeah, I'm just going to continue to watch out. This is 10:23 right now. No more numbers, I don't think, coming through today.
Nothing.
Let me just check.
Well, unless you care about oil in 7 minutes.
Yeah, which nobody ever seems to care about oil, but that could be a good one, especially with what we've been doing. Yeah, there it is right there. So we have Fed Chair Powell testifying as well, so that should happen. Circle, oh, we didn't look at BlackBerry or NVIDIA right there. FedEx, ASTS, Astis, NVO there as well, Novo Nordisk, pre-market PayEx. GI's General Mills there. I don't know what WGO is. Micron, Jeff, and Full. I don't even know what Full is either at the downside, but after hours today for that. So, yeah, there goes. I don't know, man. You might have been the jinx on that because there goes NVIDIA.
I always jinx if I
should have kept my
like
mouth closed.
Oh, you know what? This is how you jinx. Tesla's probably going to hit 315 today. So now we bounce on Tesla. That's what's going to happen. Let's go over to Adara. I bid in front of 61. I am staring down Tesla for some kind of a capitulation candle, big volume spike at the low of the day, and then that would signal a potential bottom. But if I don't see it, I don't do it. Adara?
More geopolitical comments here coming from President Donald Trump. Just be aware here for the market, and I guess more specifically for oil. He said that he will be speaking to Putin, that his meeting with Zelensky of Ukraine went well, and also that the U.S. will be meeting with Iran. So lots of meetings here for President Donald Trump, as he's announcing here, I guess, during this NATO speech. Be aware as well, right now we have Senator Elizabeth Warren grilling Jerome Powell, who, of course, is the Fed chair, about tariffs. Just some things to be aware of. If there's any major headlines coming from that, of course, I will let you guys know. Usually there aren't a ton of headlines that result from these Senate meetings, but there always can be. Back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, these usually are pretty much a nothing, like we said, it's usually a nothing burger, but I think you got to care more about any random things that are coming out of the president's mouth than those hearings. That's just my 2 cents. So that's why Darius, you're for us, and it gives us the privilege of, you know, I don't have to be as much ear to the ground. I do have news, and we both have news in our ears. It's just that you can focus on answering you guys' questions, trading, without having to worry about the news. IBIT, right before we went to Adara, it bounced off the breakout price at 61. I mean, look, NVIDIA broke right away. This ended up breaking out at like 9:10, which is unfortunate because I think if this had happened at 9:30, I don't think I would have missed the breakout on IBIT, but it ended up pulling back at the open into the prior high. Now we're basing it off to 61. But if we can't break VWAP, yikes, then I'm out underneath 61 even on IBIT. It's just a random level if you look at Bitcoin's prices, but it seems like it's respecting even dollars somehow, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but IBIT respected 61.5 at the top and now bouncing off 61 even at the bottom, even though the underlying cares nothing, in theory, about these prices. So I want to break a VWAP, then we should be good to go. Tesla and Palantir are the other two names that I'm watching. As Palantir, look at these, it's basically $1 back and forth on a 3-minute chart several times, which is wild. Usually, when you're consolidating, you don't consolidate in a $1 range. It's not very normal. If it breaks down, I'm waiting for 143. This is just way too choppy to jump back in to Palantir. And as IBIT is trying to bounce, Tesla still making fresh lows. I think there is going to be a capitulation candle. And what that's going to look like is a big volume spike that's as big as the open, or maybe even larger than that, through the low of the day. If that happens and it breaks a low and then comes back through on a massive volume candle, to me that'll signal some kind of a bottom. And I'm watching this on a 3-minute. You could try. Sometimes this can be better on a 1-minute chart to look for that kind of a signal, but I'm going to keep it on the 3. I find the 3 a little bit cleaner. So you get too many signals on a 1.
All right. Let me look at the chat here to see what you guys want to talk about. Yeah, I mean, I just did look at Big Bear AI again. You know, like I lost 8% of what we made on NVIDIA, and this is actually 4% because I still have NVIDIA position still on. So, you know where your bread is buttered, right? We had traded, well, first of all, 480. That's okay. That's a level, actually, on Big Bear AI. I'm going to try it again right here, right now, for Big Bear. So there it is. We'll take the long at 87. And I use, yeah, no worries, my guy. Andre, we're all good over here. We're going to go long. So we'll take an 87 fill there on Big Bear AI. Wait for 479 to break. So that's what we're going to be doing right here. In order to get back to flat for Big Bear AI, we got to break through $5 on this trade. So let's wait to see if that can come through or not on BBAI. Let's put our stop in right now just so we can all see that. And yeah, look, man, it hasn't been the greatest trade there on Big Bear. So let's see if we can get back up, targeting in and around $5. Let's put an offer at 497 and see if we're able to get that. What's up, Adara?
News here coming out of our friends at 3D Capital. This is IDK trading on the CSE. Congratulating here DeLorean Labs on the successful launch of their new digital token, which is DMC. Now, DeLorean Labs, or the DeLorean Group here, is backed by 3D Capital. So congratulations to 3D Capital and DeLorean Labs on this launch of the new digital token, DMC. Again, you can check out 3D Capital on the CSE at IDK. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. Sunny Ein saying, look at Coinbase falling like a rock. It's like every time I look over, like why is it falling like this? I mean, IBIT pulled back, but it's still above prior highs, and Coinbase is really starting to break down here. It could be technical, like everything. Like again, I mean, the market's pretty strong. Bitcoin is strong, but this isn't exactly all about Bitcoin. It could just be you failed the 52-week high on Coinbase, and then the sellers started to come in to take some profit. The stock was at $240 like last week, so that was a 50% move in 5 or 6 trading sessions. So you can count the candles if you want to. So it could just be a little bit technical. What I like, as I'm looking at Tesla, this is actually right back into prior day highs. I didn't think this was going to happen, but it's a pullback into the prior day high. If it breaks the trend, that's a long for me, as we are going to Adara at perfect timing because we're just talking Coinbase and we're in IBIT. We're going to go some news and a crypto update with Adara. But if we make bottoming tail candle here and break trend, I'm going long.
Look at Big Bear AI.
We actually, I'll talk here a little bit about Coinbase. I still have the BTC chart up, but COIN is notable. Of course, it is actually dropping, as mentioned, but still nice move up here near that 350 level. Basically, COIN getting an upgrade or a price target increase from Bernstein to a street high of $510. They called it the most misunderstood name in their crypto basket in terms of the things they cover in the crypto space, because among other things, it is the only crypto play in the S&P 500 right now. Here is the BTC, the daily chart, still making these slightly lower highs and lower lows, but this push back above 107,000 is promising, even though Coinbase dropping a little bit, understandable given parabolic moves this one has made. This actually here near day's highs for BTC and nicely trading around 107.6. Here is Binance. We have a Bitcoin, just to kind of look at some other tickers here. Bitcoin up 2%, as mentioned. Ethereum actually down in the day around that 2,400 level. BTC and Ethereum, as of late, have been trading a little bit counter to one another. XRP, BNB, Solana, Cardano, all relatively flat on the day, so nothing too exciting in these alt spaces. This is one of the rare examples where you have Bitcoin actually making a larger move than a lot of these other smaller names in the space, guys. Back to you.
NVIDIA is back to day's high again, so good call on that one. And then Big Bear AI, like, I don't know, we got 94s and 97s there. I said we were going to get 90s, we offered 97s, so Big Bear AI comes right up there. We take that dime back on BBAI. You know, just understanding that it's just a scalp right there for Big Bear. So, you know, there's NVIDIA right there back to its day's high and actually going even higher. It's like, you don't want to miss this. Like I was saying before, you could look at AMD. AMD's going as well, man. Marvell's going. Actually, I shouldn't say Marvell. I didn't look at Marvell, but look what AMD is doing.
SPCE is going.
AMD has been, yeah. I mean, NVIDIA now, Circle's going to be the #1 stock for me this month, and then after that, probably AMD, and then what we did today with NVIDIA actually puts that ahead of AMD. But there goes NVIDIA to the upside as well. Maybe selling some more in Marvell. No, so that's not going. So this is still to come here. Marvell still 0.7 right now. All right, so yeah, good couple movements here late, but. I hope Big Bear AI goes back to 430, but it's falling back in again. We did a great dip buy there, and then in cash out. We actually only got at a 30% though, so hopefully it will get back to the upside, Big Bear AI. And if it does fail through 479, we're out of that one. But we did take advantage right there again of new highs in NVIDIA and got more out at in the 45 area. So that trade's working out for us as well. If I keep holding this coffee here, I'm eventually going to spill it all over myself. So shout out to the color blue today.
Although I'm in gray. I'm wearing blue pants and blue shoes, but...
yeah, I'm just calling out me, call out gray.
I literally wear blue like probably,
yeah,
I don't know, like 70% of the time. Sharif's not in blue. Joey Options is in the blue. Just very quickly, Sunny...
Shout out to blue today.
Is it Sunny Ain? In the chat, let me know if I don't know if I'm saying that right, Sunny, to you, but I did a quick scalp trade in coin on that break.
Okay.
Ultimately, like sometimes, like I had not looked at this stock once. I mean, okay, I looked at it in the pre-market, and I hadn't been looking at it since. So it's usually going to be a scalp trade. Like it's probably going to go. Like look at it now, go. Like I just saw it. Look at the trend break. That's an easy scalp breaking out. Just underneath 49 and into the next level. But I wasn't really paying too much attention to Coinbase prior to that. But it's a good trend break. I scalped out of it already. Congratulations if you got it. Rest of crypto, I mean, the market's bouncing nicely, but I don't want to add to IBIT unless it's off of 61 or above the volume weighted average price again. Because somebody's selling this at VWAP and it's only now starting to break through. So we'll look for this to hold above the volume weighted average price and then try to break this one back out. Worth noting here, as we went over all of those chip names, guess who's reporting? Well, Micron's reporting tonight. I'm not going to say guess because I'm already showing it to you. Down 1% and looking relatively weak. So not a very good look for them. One of the few chip names that's not having a good day. So here comes IBIT. It's now breaking through the volume weighted average price. I'll look for a close above and then try to get the long at a higher low. It's okay to play the trend, but you know, I want to make sure that we've confirmed this upward trend before we add back in to that particular name. Tesla did wake up, but it didn't. like there was no big bottoming tail volume candle, so that's what I was looking for a reversal. I feel like if you just took every single time it made a green candle in this, maybe you've gotten a couple of dollars here or there, but then it's retraced the low after. So that was not the bottoming tail I was looking for on Tesla, hence I'm not in it. It's down 5%, and you don't have to force it on this stock. I feel like if I was trying to force it, there's at least 3 or 4 places I could have been long and wrong on Tesla. So glad we're staying away from that one. I've been looking pretty solid. Hopefully Coinbase for everybody goes a little bit further. But it's not nearly as strong as I would expect here in Coinbase. Hence the scalp trade and let IBIT work.
All right, it's 10:36 right now. Yeah, does NVIDIA want more, Juan Padilla? I don't know. If it does, we're here. All right, so Circle. I should have punched long. By the way, Circle down another 9% here as that just keeps on getting lower and lower and lower. And we did talk about that with Circle and the possibility of this drip. And yeah, it's been a short squeeze since basically this break right there of 100. And now it's all the way up. Its proper home, as we called yesterday, was probably around this $100 marker. And then once it breaks that, you'll be back into the 80s or so. So I feel much stronger about this coming way back in than I do CoreWeave. But that is Circle CRWV, another super hyped up IPO, 170 now. This will come back in as well, but definitely not as aggressive there because they have a business behind them that is rocking right now. I mean, NVIDIA, all these hyperscalers, Microsoft all-time highs, Meta's there, Google will get there. We didn't look at another hyperscaler here with Amazon. Amazon today 214. We traded this 215 yesterday. This is not even on my radar, man. Like what we have, I'm so happy with the way that the trading for myself has transformed over the last couple months here, that just to stay focused on certain plays. And we did it with AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla. Like we had that whole move on AMD when it broke through 120 again. And all I'm kind of looking for, guys, is just like trying to find out if there's some catalysts involved here. And then after that, what do we think? And this move here, we had gapped up overnight on AMD. So once it took that 120, we kind of found a level right into here from the past days. And then it took it and it screamed higher. That was an absolute monster there for AMD back on the 16th. And that sort of helped us create, sort of this excitement in AMD. And then we traded it few days after that as well. And like I was saying, it was the #1 stock around these joints for the last little while. And then the same thing here for Tesla. We had that right here on Robotaxi Day, which was 2 days ago, all the way to the upside, right? And that just started to scream there. And we were just looking for levels, and we had to pay 328. I remember 329. We missed the 328 because it happened so fast. So I just bought 329.50s, and then I think we got it again at 330 on that break up, and then that gave us again another $15, $16. So the same trade. I'm a little disappointed that we don't have that break right there to the downside, but on a day like today where it's going to be very tough to get this smile off my face, that is for sure. Yeah, it came back in. And I had to actually sacrifice today again because my son is doing the emceeing at his school, and I came in today and missed out on that. So I wasn't too happy about that, but happy to come in there today to show you guys what's going on for Tesla, NVIDIA and Tesla today. So big day all over the place here. And I'm just really happy to be doing this. We are reloaded on Big Bear AI. You might have seen that. A little bit of a price difference. Right now, we're long at 85s. I do have an offer at 90s, but now that I see where we are right now, let's take something out here at 88 if we can do that. We just got 84s, so we kind of got the bottom. But, look at the trajectory here for Big Bear AI. We got this, then we got some out, then we got this, then we got some out, right? Then it broke down, and we bought 90s and out 90s. And then this dip buy gave us that move. Now this dip buy just gave us another move back up there to 88. And now there's no continuation again. The continuation is only downside on BBAI. So, it tries to go and then the sellers step in there. Already 126 million, already over its average daily volume, and it's 1040. So Big Bear AI still has a lot of work to do, but it's got to go back up to the upside. So is Unity
The market's got some work to do.
Oh, it's not working. Okay. So yeah, we'll come back to you, Neil, but we got to go to Adair.
Okay, let's go to Adair.
We have a lot lot of news here just due to the technical issues, so I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. There's some headlines on some Mag 7 names, starting with Apple here, AAPL. The EU apparently giving the company a June 26th ultimatum. So that would be tomorrow to comply with their DMA rules. So AAPL actually pushing a little bit higher as we digest that headline. Google with the headline here as well, GOOGL on watch here. This morning they unveiled their open source AI agent called the Gemini Command Interface, Command Line Interface, or CLI. This one really strong today. Now I want to talk about comments from Donald Trump, because he has said some things calling Donald Trump a, quote, very stupid person, actually, and then a very average mentally person, quote. So more comments here being made about Fed Chair Powell by Donald Trump. He said that he's actually already interviewing 3 or 4 people that he's considering for this position when Fed Chair Powell's term ends. That would be next year, May 2026. And last but not least, Trump saying that he's going to make Spain pay twice as much with tariffs. Now we'll quickly do a stock heat map here, the sector watch. Apologies for the brevity here. This market, you wouldn't really expect, given how strong we are in the day, especially the Nasdaq, that we'd look like this, but you can really see how much tech is running the show. NVIDIA, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, all really strong and leading their respective sectors to an extent, but everything else pretty weak. Finance red, non-Amazon retail trade names are red, utilities red across the board, transportation, industrial services, and consumer durables led by Tesla, down about 5% after another month of abysmal sales numbers coming out of the EU. Back to you.
Which the timing was.
For more money.
Oh, was it? We're talking about. It's not my line. A few people have said it. I don't want to step on anybody's toes who has the quote of "don't sell at all-time highs." I don't know if it was like Michael Noss that said it, or maybe like Kramer. I've just heard it a bunch of times, and whatever you think of it, I've done it in the past, and sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't look good. It doesn't really matter, but it seems like that might be happening on Coinbase is what I'm getting at. And it's not an all-time high. Sorry, it's 52-week highs for Coinbase. But yeah, technically speaking, this is not going to look like a fantastic candle. I thought, look, I was scalping it, but I thought maybe this would be a situation where I get out on the scalp trade and then it goes all the way to VWAP for everybody. But you're right back into the lows, losing the prior day high almost temporarily here on Coinbase. So just be careful. It doesn't seem like it was before. I do have a trailing stop underneath VWAP here on IBIT. Like, it's now really hovering, consolidating off of the volume weighted average price. So it's now shown me a new low here at about 61.23 on the bid. So I'm just going to pop a 25 bid, and my trailing stop's already under this price. So I'm just going to bid right over it to add, and my stop doesn't really have to move. So that's all. I'm still looking at Tesla, obviously, but that's really where the attention is going to be in Bitcoin. I don't think I take another trade in Coinbase. For whatever reason, it just doesn't seem like it's got the juice like it did before. You know, it seems as if you got to go to where the trend is, and for me, IBIT's been trending up pretty cleanly. We mentioned, I mean, obviously, NVIDIA's pennies away from all-time highs. I don't know if it's 153 something, which is like 30, 40 cents away. But AMD just hit 144 and had just gone parabolic. So AMD also going for a bit of a run here. This is much different. It's got a world of room on the daily chart, but 144 is the next level of resistance, which makes sense on the day. So I think you get a bit of a dip. I haven't traded it once today. I don't know if you get VWAP, but prior high at 142 would be a good place to join the party. Everyone keeps saying, is Tesla making a bottom? And all I can tell you is I'm looking for something very specific in Tesla, or I don't trade it. It's dwindling volume into the lows. So it's held $320, but there was never a big volume spike. Just ignore VWAP on my chart because it's missing some data. VWAP's probably up here somewhere on Tesla. But yeah, it didn't give me the bottoming tail, but it did hold the 320 level. But I was determined this time not just to say a level that I liked and then bid in front of it. That didn't work yesterday, so I wasn't really looking to do that here today. You learn the lessons from yesterday. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but it was certainly wrong to just bid in front of an even number on Tesla in yesterday's trade, and most of them wouldn't have worked for you either if you just tried that.
Yeah, man, and learning a good talk there, because learning from yesterday's trade and learning from trading all week means you should be long AMD, NVIDIA, all of these. Let's check out what's going on with it. I mean, look at NVIDIA right now, 153. Like, it's just We were talking about this at 8:30. We're like, we're going ham if this thing breaks 150. It gave the best gift of them all right there in the pre-market, bidding 149. Then we got even longer on the fake and break, you know, and it's just like, boom, shaka-laga-laga-laga. He's heating up. NBA Jam.
Is it the shoes?
Yeah, right there. Big Bear AI is heating down. Cooling down, you know, like our weather here, by the way, getting a lot cooler heading into the weekend, which is perfect because I'm not here Friday. We have a big baseball tournament. We have a game on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, then the 2 games on Sunday with the semifinals and the finals, which we will be in both of those. So we're really excited for that. But yeah, there goes Big Bear AI. We'll slap a fail, and we ain't cooking up much on that one there today. So that's an L for us here today on Big Bear AI. We could just continue to watch NVIDIA or not. I mean, again, we have a good position, but it's not a huge one. Palantir's all the way back here again. He's on fire. Good one, Christopher Mulligan, right there as well. Alonzo Mourning and Glenn Rice play with the Miami Heat, or Charlotte Hornets.
No, it was
Charlotte Hornets.
Didn't you? I thought we always used Grandmama.
Yeah, LJ's on that team too. The Charlotte Hornets are.
I would always use. Yeah, I would use Grandmama and Zoe because for some reason Larry Johnson could hit threes in that game, which didn't make a lot of sense. But
Yeah,
that's
what's
why.
up with that? But yeah, anyway.
Palantir just lost the 144.
Yeah, I was looking at
That's
Palantir there.
we're probably looking at the same thing because descending wedge into a flat bottom. My bias is long, so I was looking for this to resolve, breaking this channel and holding 144. Now that that hasn't happened, it's just on to the next. I haven't touched this since it lost VWAP. I was looking for a bounce there. Now I wait for 143 to come back in here, as I believe we're going back to Adara at the desk. Still just IBIT for me as Bitcoin continues to go.
Here is here's a Nasdaq, a little bit of a topping tail candle right now. Basically, for one, I want to let you guys know Donald Trump's conference actually just ended, his NATO press conference that has been completed. So it sounds like he'll be returning now to the United States according to his schedule. Also here, Fed Chair Powell being asked about tariff inflation, and he gave a pretty neutral answer, saying that he's open to the possibility that tariffs translating to inflation will be more or less than we think. So what he's saying is they're going to have to wait and see how these impacts affect. I would say definitely keep an eye on that Friday PCE print with that in mind, because that PCE is often cited as the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. And people are saying that June could be the time where we start to see what, if any, impacts tariffs do have on inflation. Back to you.
There for that, we talked about possibly, cutting more rates coming in July. I think there's a chance that we could get that rate cut in July, even though the CME Fed rate tool does not give me that love. I'm going to call it up right now and look at it with you guys. We talked about this on the after show yesterday, and there it is for July. So I think they're going to go. So right now, I'm well underwater on that prediction. Only 1 out of every 5, there's a 20% chance. Whether or not 1 of every 5 people think that or not, that doesn't mean what that means. But I think they're going to go. So if you do get a Fed rate, I told Neil I bought more Nasdaq today. So I'm more into the Nasdaq at all-time highs. So let's go. Let's see what winds up happening. But I just want to add to the position. There it is. So 79% chance of no rate cut at all, and we stay status quo, and then you move over to September, and this is where you definitely get the feels for a rate cut. Now it's 70% for a quarter point, 20% for 50 basis points. And then as you go on into the end of the year there, 50% that we're down here at 375 to 4, which would be 50 points. By the time we're in December, we're going to be 50 basis points lower than where we are right now. That's the October look. And then there's a chance that we're 75 basis points lower by the time we get to December right there. So 350 to 375 right there, the overnight rate. So by the time December comes, we could be 75 points lower, which would be 3 rate cuts. I don't think he's going to go more than 25 points in any cut. So right there, be careful with that. There's 153, man. So we got pretty close. The all-time high for NVDA is 153.80. So
it was 80? Oh, I thought.
Yeah, 153.81. So we came pretty close to that. But it doesn't matter. We exited out, man. Exit stage left on NVDA there 2 days. So again, so far so good. Just taking a rest. I have less than 3% left of my position on NVIDIA, so not too much to worry about. But here comes Santa Claus. Here comes the market right to the downside right now. 22.48 coming into play there for the Nasdaq. And thanks for asking there on the chat. Yeah, my son is emceeing. He's in grade 7, and he's emceeing the grade 8 grad. So, and he was very nervous about it. So we're gonna.
He'll kick butt.
Oh yeah, he'll do.
He's a showstopper. He stole. I've told the story before. He stole the show on the dance floor at my wedding, which was a heck of a lot of fun. And some people don't like kids at weddings. Kids at weddings is
shame on them.
Well, some people don't do it. I think it's the greatest. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I don't think we invited
kids to our wedding. Actually, I don't think we had kids at our wedding.
But didn't Baxter and
well, I had my own kids.
But there were no other kids there?
I
just remember on the dance floor. Anyways, I won't tell that story because whatever it's. But anyways,
a little too expensive to have the kids.
It was a heck of a lot. It was a heck of a lot of fun. That's all I'm going to say. Back to the market for a second. Every 2 seconds, someone says Tesla's making a bit of a bottom. You might be right about that. And it looks like it's not terribly bad off the 320 level, but I'm still going to stay a little bit far away from Tesla. It's Palantir on this in the next 10 minutes as we go into the afternoon, as we go into the lunchtime here, that it could be next. Palantir is threatening to go red. It'll be red at 143.25, not 143 even. But that was a long consolidation at the end of the day at this price. I'm looking for a mean reversion on Palantir. I haven't touched, like I said, haven't touched it since the volume weighted average price, but I want to see a trend break back to the upside for PLTR. Let's see what AMD is doing. The other name that I have on watch, prior high was 142. At this time of day, I don't want like a snap dip. I think you take those types of snap dips at the open. Not necessarily at this time of day. As long as we're still pulling back, maybe that can work for us to go back into VWAP, which I am not reloaded in on IBIT. I am sitting in front of that prior low. I just didn't get it. I'm going to add with the same stop under VWAP and play it into the highs. I had no short ideas today. And the only thing that I was kind of thinking short on was Apple. And what's like the absolute ridiculous, stupid irony about Apple is it essentially did a top right at yesterday's high and gave it to you. Like that's as clean as it gets. But so I'll slap the fail because it's probably the only name that I would have tried to short. And it just did it again off the same high. So Apple looks relatively weak. I think this one can be shorted up at 203.5. I'm just not sure we get it again, unfortunately.
All right, here we go, baby. We are finally back in, and if you want to know where all these trades come from, they come from the sticky note right there. And I want to thank everybody for continuously supporting this, man. It is the #1 clicked, #1 viewed post that we have up here at Trader TV Live across all platforms. And I want to thank all of you guys for making that continuously happening for us there. But Palantir's into the range right now, 142.50 to 143.50. So we're long right now, PLTR at these levels. And look what just happened. There we go, man. It is PLTR time. It's their world, and we're all living in it, except for today when it's NVIDIA's world. Nice move to the upside right there for Palantir. Let's take it back, baby. There we go. Oh, Neil, we said we were red on Palantir. Not right now, as we wave that finger and we go to the upside right now as Dikembe Mutombo right there. The Maple Leafs got Joe Thornton, and we talked about this before yesterday, Alexander McGillney right there. A new entrant into your NHL Hall of Fame. There it goes, baby. Let's go, Palantir. Oh, boy. This has been a good day. The only thing that's not been great for us today has been Big Bear AI, as that has reared its ugly bear head right now. But let's do something for Joe. All right, it's what's for lunch. Today for breakfast, we had a power outage, and we also had egg and cheese sandwiches with, of course, whole fresh fruit bowl, which was really great. I saw some watermelon in there. Watermelon, for me, the best fruit for summertime. Breakfast pastries, assorted bagels, butter and cream cheese there today as well. And these nasty
They haven't been the best. Oh, don't throw it out.
Ooh, missed. Ooh, hopefully didn't.
I would have eaten it.
Shut down the stream there.
I would have eaten it.
Yeah,
they're all right. I like the fruit.
Wash for you.
But
there.
I'm not.
It's a nasty plum, so that deserves downside. Okay, but what is for lunch right now? All right, it is country chicken stew for lunch.
What does that even? I don't know what that means.
We'll figure out what's that. country chicken stew with garlic mashed potatoes, steamed vegetables, and Ramin's favorite, which I've learned. Oh, by the way, chef's choice salad right there. The face slapper continues. Oh boy, Neil, the sticky note is all over it one more time. What did we write down on the sticky note? 143.50. There it is, man. 143.50. We're long, and there's 80 cents back into you. What's up with Skull? What's up with everybody there in the chat, man? We're here. We're live every single day, and there it goes again, man. Back up to the upside. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what country the chicken's from. Let's hope from Canada right here. Country chicken stew. So that should be a fun one. That, everybody, is what's... Look, man, we'll end our day. I don't know if you're at the highest spot you've been at all day, but we're at the highest spot we've been at all day, and that's a great spot to be at as we end the show. So
on momentum, yes.
Monster day up. Good. Nice, man. Monster day up right there for PLTR. Monster move right now. We're going to have to take some more out. I'm offering 144.10 right there. We are back to positiveville here on Palantir. So, you know, that was a good one, but it's not... It's definitely not acting like Palantir-ish, in my opinion, there today. With the market up 0.3, Palantir normally is moon. But when moon? Earlier, 147.50. Palantir has like climbed up to one of the highest positions in my portfolio, and I'm really not selling any of it. So that could be a little foolish up at these levels. So we'll maybe make a decision later on today if we can get back up to 146, 147. We'll probably put that offer in there again today. So yeah, that's what it's going on. We did get a call for Adair, but I think that's a cancel right now. So why don't we go back over to Neil and figure out what's you're in?
Well, I did come back into that VWAP trade on IBIT, but 2 New York cent. Multiple times you've asked about CHYM. You're like, before you go, can you look at CHYM? I have seen it every single time I saw it. I didn't get to this name. I don't see any particular catalyst for Chime. So it's like it's trending up and it's up 11%. But I was trying to find a news story. And a lot of times what will happen is when you get the recent IPO, and we talked about this before, like when it does this, wait for it to bottom out and make a higher low. But that's not even the trade that I'm usually interested in. It's actually when it makes the bottoming tail at some point and then retakes the IPO high. Just go look at what CoreWeave did after it did that same kind of a move. So that's almost at $45, but so far it looks like it's made that bottom at 29. Maybe you get a little bit of a rally the next couple of sessions in here. As long as it can close above 31, that looks like a bottoming tail breakout here for Chime. But the IPO breakout trade that I think has historically been the big one has been when a stock, I'm just going to use CoreWeave as an example because it's the best one recently, when a stock trends down after IPO, gives you a retest into the initial high and breaks that. CoreWeave is a great extreme example of it. Reddit, I believe, did something similar, although I would probably have to show you Reddit on a higher time frame, maybe a weekly chart to be able to show you that. Let's just load up Reddit. There's Reddit. Reddit did a similar one here. It actually double topped, then the third time through. Look at how big it breaks. So that's what I would look for on Chime because historically that's been the really, really big breakout zone for some of these IPOs. So back into IBIT. Tesla's going, so congratulations to anybody that's in that. And AMD is now, oh, it's almost there. I'm probably going to be into this. The prior high is at 142. But you're holding 142.5, and the futures just got it back above VWAP, which is a good sign. So I'll play the $0.50 first on advanced micro devices, up 3%. Oh, the chip names are great unless you're Intel or Micron today, really. And Micron gets a pass because they're reporting tonight, so that's probably the only reason that they're down, as some people are taking profit out going into earnings because they've been on a rally. Intel's just weak because it's Intel.
Yeah, Intel always gets a pass. Intel is...
No, Micron gets a pass.
Intel... Oh, yeah, but Intel always gets a pass. Intel is dumb money. I feel so stupid being in Intel when I look at all this kind of stuff, but I'm in it. So what can I do? 144.25 right there. I mean, we're long at 1980 or something on Intel. What's it at, 22? All right, 22.50. Hard to complain, you're up 10%, but I would have hoped that this name can go, and I do hope it does. With only 8 seconds left, I want to thank everybody for being here with us today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience with allowing us to get the stream back going there earlier on.
Yeah, good job today. From the team.
Yeah, great job from the team, and thank you to everybody for doing that. All right, decent trades today. We're all over this, man. It's a monster here. We're ending the show at our day's high for myself right now. There goes Palantir. Palantir joins the club again, not that one. It joins the dollar club right there as Palantir getting back to the upside there off of 144.30s, 143.50s, which was our mark there. So you're welcome, Tia. You're welcome, everybody else out there as well. Now it's time to go over to the Bro Show, and Sharif, Joe, they're ready to go. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Ciao.
Ciao.